first engagement without cannoning up. I'm obviously his skipping Corsairs is helping, but I'm very curious about that. I'll have to watch the game in its entirety to get a feel. Ugh. I'm not going to cast my own game though. Oh well, my macro is good at least, and I was solid in my opening, which is the main thing I've been practicing. So, you know, I mean, I'm playing. He's I think at least 4K better than I am. So, or 4K, at least 400 MMR better than me. So, all taken together, I'm not too unhappy. All right, so spawning in the top right-hand corner as our yellow Zerg, we have BSL5's DeWalt. And in the bottom right-hand corner as the blue Protoss, we have IRK's Tim. In the round of 16, and I believe the map is Sniper Ridge, if I was paying attention. Where's the little reveal map thing? Is that the handshake? Yeah. Alright, so it is indeed Sniper Ridge, if you guys remember this map. Very, very tough, since we've got two Protoss players, very tough CVP map early on. Zergs would do a lot of fast lurker builds and just get lurkers up on these high grounds outside the natural, which is just a nightmare because number one, your army is kind of choked up, and then of course high ground lurkers. I mean, you're using dragoons to bust most of the time, and we all know how much half mischance does for their damage up the hills. Of course, you have the center pod, swastika, reverse swastika map. That seems to be unintentionally popular with the Korean map makers. And then third base would be over here. And that's pretty much Sniper Ridge at an overview if you guys don't remember Sniper Ridge. Alt-Z. Oh, actually, is this real DeWalt? Maybe he just random. I don't know, that's weird. Apparently he's playing Zerg. I didn't even realize that. I was like assuming DeWalt was playing Protoss, despite having apparently looked at him. So maybe that will come into play here on this map. But I'm honestly not sure. Nope. Got a little bit of a drone fighting a probe. Overlord, of course, is going to scout in the incorrect direction. Someone saying he's done this before, but he played Z. Okay, so DeWalt just opted not to play his main. So we will get a taste of how DeWalt Zerg looks. We've got a probe out here. Looks like we're gonna have a Nexus first from Tim. And of course, a bit risky, but you know what? He's got a probe there. He sees that it's 12 hatch, so it's not risky in this case, but you know, the choice not to build a forge, if you're gonna delay that a little bit, is always taking a subtle risk depending on what Zerg's gonna do. But he's going to be in great shape this game. DeWalt's like, oh damn, Protoss is going to have some serious eco. And spawning pulled about halfway, and a pretty quick gas for DeWalt, although I guess that is more common nowadays, to take that gas after the second hatchery and then place out your third hatchery, getting you that, getting the Scourge out just a bit faster, more or less preventing the first Corsair from being able to get any Overlord kills. And then we can see Forge and Gateway from Tim. It looks like it's one of those nice little 1 hex walls where you can just like fit one zealot in, probably tight on both sides. Hopefully tight on both sides. And DeWalt is going to go ahead and opt for a far third base. Doesn't guarantee anything, but you know, often that's going to be an indication that you want to macro up and do 4 base Turtle Hive Zerg. Terry, you're unable to report in bracket. That is weird. You should be able to. But if you can't, I can just report the games for you, and if you could just send replays, like PM me a replays from like Dropbox and just PM me on TL, L_master, that would work fabulously. And then I'll advance you in the bracket. And just PM me the score. Or I'll advance your opponent in the bracket, depending on the result of the games. Oh, now that's an interesting wall. Okay, so this is not going to be tight. I don't think cannons are tied to anything. So, yeah, we got a cannon there. It'll work. I've never seen a cannon placement like that. It's like part of the wall. Few lings out for DeWalt. And making another pair of lings. Oh, but the lings are slightly out of position. He's trying to block the probe from getting in, but not quite able to do so. And we can see the Cybercore coming up here from Tim. And again, what is it? Oh, is it just the Nexus first? That must be why the Cybercore timing. I don't know. Because your Cybercore timing is like, I mean, a lot of times Protoss is putting a Stargate down at like 10 seconds from now, but your core is halfway done. I'm actually really curious if you want to elaborate on that, because that's not something I've seen. And at first I thought you were just like making 2 gates and like delaying the Cybercore, but now, I don't know, maybe it's just a result of going Nexus first. I genuinely don't know though. Alright, so we have, for DeWalt, Spire coming down. Alright, got the layer up. No second gas anywhere, so we're just going to see some Scourge. I assume he's not going to go 1 gas Mutalisk. And actually, wait, we have a lot of links. What's the status of link speed? Presumably he has it? Yeah, he's got link speed. Alright, so we're possibly going to see a bit of Ling aggression here. He might be able to run by and surround the cannon, because this is like not going to be tight. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes for this. He's made, what, a group? About a group. But it might just be that he wants to wait for a group and wait for these Zealots to come out just a little bit and then surround them. Sometimes that's a possibility. Doing a little bit of checking over here on the high ground pod. And behind this, he is just droning on up, getting that 4th hatchery. And in the meanwhile, we're getting some gates going down here and a fast archives for Tim. Well, I know you skip Stargate, but the point is, like, your core, is half done when, or less than half done when a lot of times Protoss are like starting their Stargate, which means their core's been done for quite a bit longer than yours. So I'm just curious what it is about your build that causes this to be a little bit delayed. Alright, so DeWalt gets a Ling picked off, and then he does pull back, and before Tim moves out here, he's made quite a few Zealots, so DeWalt is not going to be able to threaten with these Lings. There's just no way a small group of Lings is going to take on 4 or 5 decently controlled Zealots. You can see Storm coming out for Tim, DT as well as the High Templar. So a nice little mix there to push Zerg back, and let's see, Hydra Den. So yeah, DeWalt almost has his tech up, has a sunken colony at each base. Leg speed is getting pretty close here. So in come the Zealots, few Lings there. We'll see if Tim opts to commit to this. And it looks like no, he's just going to back up. Doesn't want to throw the early game Zealots away too much. Pair of Scourge in there looking. No. Oh. Wow. Is he expecting Muta, or is he just playing in case of Muta? Very interesting. He's making a Dark Archon. That is really interesting. I know he doesn't have a Corsair to scout, so maybe that's playing into it. And it's just concerned about the possibility of Muta. But there are definitely no Mutalisks. Of course, Maelstrom works on all units, so he may be able to make some nice use of this later on. Perhaps, yeah, he's made an Archon too, so very kind of early Muta committed play. Interesting. Getting a few more gateways, so we're gonna have what, 7 gates now here from Tim. So we're gonna play aggressively off of 2 bases, and DeWalt moving back, putting down his 6th hatchery over at that 4th base. So it's looking like some macro-oriented play from DeWalt, especially with all these Sunkens going down. We got, what, 7 Zealots. They're not going to break 4 Sunken Colonies. And Tim is not sending out the Dark Archon, or I think the regular Archon. I don't even know where the regular Archon went. Oh, never mind. It's with the Archon. Alright, well, we're going to have like 7 or 8 Zealots and an Archon trying to come in here, but there are 4 Sunken Colonies, and yeah, Tim probably wisely immediately turns around. Does not want to fuck with that, especially with, look at this, nice from DeWalt. Got Lurkers morphing, so we got a tight wall here, just totally blocked off. In theory, Archon Splash could do some damage to Lurkers, but with 4 Sunkens, not realistically. And Queen's Nest coming up, so DeWalt, yeah, just very heavy macro play, hive-oriented play here from DeWalt against Tim, and really it's going to be a question of, with this number of gateways and stuff, I think we're going to see Tim pressure, even if he is taking a 3rd base here. He's going to have a lot of production and just try to knock down DeWalt's defenses before Hive gets up and running. Got the Dark Archon into the mix now, and +2 almost done? Yep. Alright, Storm is almost done. Not too many High Templar out yet, but a few more trickling in. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We got 4. We got 4 High Templar in the army. Good solid army composition. Plenty of storms to use and abuse. Oh, okay. A few Lurker and Lings try to run in here, but Tim blocking that off. Not gonna let that get down. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Well, that is very much slowing Tim down, and it's definitely nice for Tim that he was able to block that Lurker, because if Zerg starts to get a stranglehold on these ramps, it's just that much extra work you have to do as Protoss to deal with them, even if there's not many, because the high ground for the Lurkers is just quite powerful. And let's see, triple upgrades. Getting quite the eco here from DeWalt. And Tim mostly just defending, getting that 3rd base up. Macroing in those Dragoons. Let's see, any upgrades? Well, no, that's the 2nd forge. Okay, so we do want a double upgrade here from Protoss, but this forge is not active at the moment, so it is just a 2-1 Protoss. Still, that's some pretty good upgrades in all honesty. Quite robust. Got 3 cans up over here. Has not started mining his gas yet. DeWalt putting up his 4th gas. Hive is done, going right into that Defiler mound. So we're going to have to see how Tim's late game PvZ play is. He is just kind of going to sit comfortably here on 3 bases and then take on DeWalt in the late game. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, normally I would be a little bit worried for Protoss. Zerg late game is pretty strong with Hive and those sorts of things out. Of course, DeWalt is not a Zerg player, so his late game mechanics might not be as sharp. And there's still a small little window here. I mean, let's face it, right now DeWalt still doesn't have a lot. So there's a small window where Tim could still do some damage to DeWalt. I mean, especially the biggest thing that worries me is the number of Lurkers he's using for defense is really very small. He has made a lot of Scourge to snipe observers, so perhaps he's looking to defend that way. But yeah, he's going to position that Lurker back, and I think he needs to turn this army around because, yeah, some good storms going off. I don't even know, does Hydra have upgrades? I think they do. Alright, and Tim charging in here. Going to start attacking, throwing everything into DeWalt, and there's only 1 set of Lurker spines right now, and that is a very large army. It looks like the Obs is there, so the Lurker is going to go down, and is DeWalt just going to get busted? It kind of looks like it. So DeWalt maybe a little too much on the drones, a little insufficient army focus here, as everything is just getting ripped down, and the Scourge are not in position right now to take out the observers, and now all the Lurkers are dead, so not a whole lot DeWalt can do. Ling's being streamed in, but with an Archon and those number of Zealots in here, I don't know how effective this is going to be for DeWalt. And I think now Tim is playing himself into a pretty good position. The feedback Maelstrom goes down, but unfortunately only gets 2 Lings there. And in the meantime, DeWalt is actually trying to double expand to 2 more bases. However, he is getting his main broken, and that is super important because that is his Hive, all his tech, kind of the central aspect of his play here. And honestly, I don't see enough for him to be able to defend this. Drones getting stormed and died. Sunken's going down. Units are being streamed across the map. Tim has left a few on the low ground. And just comfortable on his 3 bases. No further expansions. DeWalt trying to get on top of these. But remember, this Protoss army also has some very nice upgrades. So these Lings not as strong as you would normally expect. Even if they are Cracklings, they will probably eventually finish off these Dragoons just because Cracklings are Cracklings. But he's lost many of the structures in his main. He has kept alive his Defiler Mound so far, as well as his Hive, and he might save it now, which definitely surprises me. And of course, he is expanding to these 2 bases. Lost a lot of drones in the process, though, so his economy is definitely going to be on the sluggish side. And can he save his Hive? Actually, no. Maybe not. Making a Lurker over here, trying to defend this base, and it looks like DeWalt in this process has been making mostly units. Has snuck in maybe a few drones over here. Hive is, well, it's got about half of its health. How many storms are left? Oh, there's a lot of storms left. I think the Hive will fall, and probably the Defiler Den as well. And now we have reinforcements here from Tim coming up here. They're going to take out this base for DeWalt, and given the units, I don't see a way that DeWalt can defend that. Storm's continuing to rain down. Actually, wait, we're going to get everything cleaned up. The Zealots are down, and yeah, it looks like DeWalt is going to save his Hive and Defiler. Just as I say that, nice Maelstrom goes down. this time stopping a larger group of Lings, but of course he is going to lose his base at the bottom. And Templar... Oh, snap, it's got a storm. It's got a storm. Will he notice? Will he notice? Okay, yeah, we got that cleaned up. So he has saved his Hive and Defiler Den for now. Now, is Tim going to go back in and kill that off? I think he probably will. Which means DeWalt is going to have to start... Oh, he's actually... Oh, that's very smart. DeWalt has rebuilt his Defiler mound there over at his, I don't know, 11 o'clock position, 10 o'clock position. But Tim is going to go ahead here and finish off the main and then reinforcing. Let's see how many gateways we're rolling off. A good solid 11 gateways. Some pretty solid macro here from Tim, at least in terms of macro potential. Money running a little bit high. Looks like we're getting some supply blocks in the midst of all the micro here. And now he's got more or less map control. DeWalt pretty pinned into this base. Defiler's out. That will help with the defending. Is he researching any other spells? Does he have Consume? We'll wait and see. Looks like he has Consume. I don't think he has Plague, though. Overlord gets picked off here, and we just have a small treasure trove left, but this looks to have found a safe refuge. A few Lings trying to run out. Oh, are they going to get the Templar? No. DeWalt calling those Lings off. Oh, he does have Plague. Okay. I did not see him researching that. Well, now DeWalt is going to try to defend back at this base, but let's face it, Tim is about double his supply, which is not an ideal place to be. A drone going out. That drone is picked off. Lots of lurkers set up over here. Going to spread them out and burrow a little bit more. Defiler coming over. I think a swarm on those lurkers. Oh, actually, he's just going to opt for Plague, and that will cause the Zealots to be shredded pretty fast, but Tim is just trying to force his way into this base. I think there's a little too much defense here to just force his way into it. Some reinforcements coming over for DeWalt, but honestly, Tim has done a tremendous damage. He has cleared out the lurkers, so when the rest of his army with storms gets up here, I think he might just be able to bust into that base. Oh wow, big burrow of lurkers going there. Are there any storms to deal with that? If he can get a storm up there, most of those lurkers will fall. However, yeah, attacking just straight into lurkers usually not the most effective, but it's kind of feeling like only a matter of time now until Tim just completely busts DeWalt, who's working off of only 3 bases. And I mean, this base is on its last legs. Continued pressure is going to cause tremendous trouble here for DeWalt. He just does not have the units he needs to really defend this. He has gotten a little bit of a lurker spread set back up, and he's going to fly over. He's going to see this base going up on the right side, but really doesn't have any units he can use. He is sneaking a drone out over here back to his initial main area. And wow, those upgrades are fantastic for Tim. Oh, this Defiler goes up and only gets a small Plague off. Defiler does escape with its life, though. And a lot of times for Protoss, it would be a little bit risky to sit out here with a small group of units like this, but in this case where he doesn't have to worry about Zerg coming from all sides and has Zerg pinned back, not so bad, but we do have a little contingent of Lings being sent over here, although I think with 4 sets of cannons and no Defiler, I don't think these Lings will kill this off, but we'll see. Crackling's always dangerous, but nah, just a little too much. So for now, Tim is going to get that 4th base up. And I guess at the moment we're just waiting for Tim to macro up a little bit. Just kind of defending. Alright, now we got a Defiler over here, so this is going to become annoying. We've plagued a few of the cannons. Now we have a swarm down, and Lings are going to again run in. Tim is definitely going to need to send some of his army over here if he wants to defend this, because these Lings are going to shred these plagued cannons under swarm. And alright, we're getting a few units over here. Still not quite enough Lings from DeWalt, and it looks for now like the base is going to be safe. Let's see, a bunch of lurkers, a bunch of Lings pouring out for DeWalt, but he still has this problem of being stuck on just 3 bases. He's on the way to rebuilding his hive. He's rebuilt his lair. Has not made the hive yet. And let's see, DeWalt looks like he wants to focus everything on that 3rd base. Templar over here, throws down a storm, doesn't get that much. And DeWalt is just going to continue heading over towards the 4th base of Tim. I guess he's figuring, hey, if I take out his 4th base, then we can get Tim on just one mining base, and maybe I have an outside shot at this. Looks like a feedback or a storm snipe there on that defiler, so that's really a bummer for DeWalt, because that was one of his instruments he was going to use to try and break this base. Setting up a few lurkers on the high ground to slow down Protoss, and now he charges in here on top of the cannons, but there's too many cannons plus a DT, so well held here from Tim, and DeWalt is definitely not going to be able to bust this. And he does have this base up over here, but I don't see any way he's going to be able to defend it. And now we have Tim charging in here. Oh, there's only a few lurkers. There's not really that many more units. Those lurkers will go down immediately. And I think Tim is going to crack him here. I just don't see any more units left. And DeWalt is going to lose his 3rd mining base, and that will leave him with very, very few options. A couple sunkens being made in time, but I just don't think they're enough. All those Archons, Lincolns, actually there's a lot of lurkers over here. We'll see. Can he get some good burrows off? How much is left on these High Templar as far as storms? This one has at least one storm, and the lurkers are kind of clumped up. DeWalt is trying to spread them as best as possible. The obs are a little out of position, though. Storm goes down there. Is it enough from DeWalt? Wow, Archon's on the ramp, though. That is going to be impossible to break. And indeed, Tim has broken this location, and DeWalt says, GG. Tim takes game number 1 over DeWalt. So it seemed like DeWalt just not quite enough defense there, because I mean obviously if you get your 2 of your bases broken, you're not usually going to win. So I think DeWalt just a little bit lacking in defense. A couple more lurkers, a couple more sunkens, better chance for him to hold that attack. So spawning in the bottom right hand corner as the green Protoss, we have IRK as Tim, and in the top right hand position we have DeWalt off racing as Zerg. So DeWalt definitely opting for heavy macro play. The first game gets busted. We'll see if he switches his style here for game number 2, or if he still feels confident in his Zerg macro, thinks he can make a few adjustments and hold off the aggression from Tim. Probe going out immediately, as we would expect for any sort of fast expansion. Possibly 2 gateways in the natural, but I'm kind of doubting it. Probe goes out. It's going to scout correctly on its first try, so that'll be a little bit obnoxious for DeWalt, especially if he opts to 12 hatch. Going to get some hatchery blocking. And let's see, nothing yet for Tim being sent over. Alright, so it looks like he's going to overpull. Having already seen the probe, I think that this Overlord just going to go ahead and overpull, which makes perfect sense. 12 hatch is going to be pretty pointless if you just whatever. And let's see, Tim sees this too. And yeah, I guess it's just Tim's stylistic preference to play a very risky early PvZ in favor of this Nexus first, because, well, let's see. He's sending over a probe now. Maybe he's going to make just like a delayed forge. He's got enough money to Nexus, but I think he's going to throw down the forge first. Alright, so he's going to make the forge first against the overpull. There are some positions where you can like 11 nex against overpull, like Fighting Spirit, top right, bottom left, places like that. I don't think so, though, on... Blah. Can't even think of what map this is. Oh, yeah, it's Gladiator. Alright, so Nexus, and we got our Forge. Pool is done. DeWalt only making a single pair of lings, so we'll just see probably 1 cannon here out of Tim. And in the meantime, the probe still being a menace in the main base of DeWalt. Annoying those drones. Slings are out though. We'll be able to chase that away and put an end to that menacing. Drone should be safe. Overlord is going to check. Yep, there's a cannon there. Not going to do anything with those lings. And 3rd hatchery for DeWalt along with gas. So far looking like the same typical 3-hat spire opening that we see most often these days. Opting to put the gateway here, that means there'll be a wall there. It would have been an option, I think, to put the gateway there. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't, but perhaps he just doesn't want the gateway that far forward in the wall in case of like a Hydra bust or something. But either way, or this is actually tight, and this is just like a nice little 1 hex gap. Honestly, sometimes it looks like there's a gap here. Hopefully there's not a gap over here. I don't know gladiator walls though, so semifinals is best of 5. Semifinals is best of 5, yes. Alright, Hydra Den here for Devault. Oh, wait, Hydra Den. Okay. Okay, well, we got Lings on the ramp. Now, if Tim scouts back over here, there's definitely a general tendency that if Zerg is denying scouting, either with things like that, particularly with 2 Lings, and or uniquely aggressively, then it's often a sign that, hey, I need to be a little bit worried. So we'll see how Tim reacts to this pair of Lings on the ramp. Oh, does he notice there's a pair of Lings on the ramp? Yeah, now he definitely does if he didn't. Alright, so let's see if that prompts a reaction out of Tim. Is that going to make him think, I'm a little bit concerned now. I haven't scouted Zerg, and I don't know what he's doing. Actually, no, not so far. So let's see what DeWalt does here with this. He's already getting his Hydra speed. It's going to be out quite quick. Some Lings coming down. Still just 1 cannon, so I am quite worried for Tim right now. Obviously, 1 cannon is never going to hold off a Hydra bust on any planet. And yeah, right now DeWalt just macroing up a few Hydra. Just need to see if this is going to be fake bust or real bust. If it's fake bust, Tim might be okay. If it's real bust, though, yikes. Although DeWalt, unfortunately, supply blocking himself just a little bit. Alright, now the next larva will be telling. Okay, it looks like more Hydra. So we are going to see some aggression here from DeWalt, but he can't go at that Kenny yet. Oh, and now Tim, if he was paying attention, he saw. Somehow it's like he still hasn't seen. So, oh man, Tim has got to be thinking in his head, oh my god, what have I done? What have I done? Panic cannons going down now. DeWalt trying to line those Hydras up to attack the gateway, but remember, no range yet on the Hydras, so they cannot really get very good shots off here. And when this cannon finishes, honestly, the Hydra will have to back it up. But without the range, this might just be buying enough time here for Tim to get up a few cannons and hold this off. And then the question is, how heavy is DeWalt going to commit to this? Right now, the answer is very heavily indeed. So let's see how the control is. How close are we to having a range? We are just about done. Now, these cannons are very snipeable. Like, he can run in here, dive on some of these cannons quite easily. Zealots now need to back way up. And now, let's see, DeWalt, is he going to move in on the cannons? He goes for the first one. He should get it pretty quickly, but the Zealots do get some nice shots off, so... But 1 cannon down, easy. Gateway being remade. Zealots getting picked off. DeWalt repositioning his Hydras. Such a tricky little thing to get right. I'm trying to find that position where he can take down the Forge and delay the making of the cannons for a while. I think this is probably the Forge down here. Oh, no, it's an Archives. So he's not remaking his Forge. Now, that could be very dangerous. Because, yeah, unless I missed it somewhere else in his base. But I don't think he's remade the Forge, so now he can't make any more cannons. And I'm a little surprised DeWalt isn't using the Lings to tank and sniping off 1 or 2 of these cannons while he has the chance. I really think this number of Hydra, especially with the Lings to absorb the first hit, could easily get 2 or 3 of the cannons out of the way. But actually now it looks like DeWalt is transitioning out of the bus. He goes for 1 cannon. He goes for... Oh, he can't get to it, though. Good block with the Zealots. I don't actually know why he didn't get to that. That went very well, though, for Tim. He's alive and well. DeWalt switching into drones, so that's definitely the end of attempts to bust. Of course, DeWalt was not aware that Tim was quite slow to rebuild the Forge. Had he continued with that, I think it could have been a bit rough for Tim. And Tim again rebuilding that gateway. Very determined to have a gateway there. I mean, it definitely does block the Hydra from just effortlessly running on top of all of your cannons. Is there not a way to turn this stuff off? This stuff is very annoying. Like, I really don't need to know when everybody on my friends list is leaving and joining a game. And of course, let's keep in mind now that Archives is done for Tim, so we should see some high tempo popping out. Storm is presumably being researched. Whoa! DeWalt was ready for that. Cool little split. So baits out a storm. Very unfortunate there for Tim. And we're getting a sunken up from DeWalt. Are we getting Lurker? Do we have Lurker? Probably not, since we're still only on 2 gas. Evo chamber up for DeWalt. But remember, DeWalt has invested a decent bit in this, so Tim is definitely at a little bit of an advantage here. He didn't invest insane amounts in this bust, so Tim's not like crazy advantaged, but it's definitely a comfortable situation for Tim for sure. Apparently you can turn off in options. Friends presence. Thank you so much. That was getting old. Okay, so again, no Corsairs for Tim. Definitely prefers to play his PvZ Corsairless. So he's just gonna have to make the Dark Archon and hope he can get some utility out of it later, and then it's not just a total sink of gas and minerals. And plenty of gateways being made now. Whoa, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8 gateways there. Plus there are 9 gateways for Tim. And unfortunately a very bad supply block. I'm not sure why that happened. To be getting supply block to 1k sitting on just his base. And now a few Zealots kind of trying to find a way out, but I don't think he's ready to commit to it yet. He's going to draw High Templar out, try to get a couple decent pre-storms down. But that High Templar will probably get sniped after this. Trying to run back to the cannons, but actually gets away. Tucks him into a nice nook and cranny there, so gets off a pre-storm. And in this case though, the Dark Archon should pay off because DeWalt has made mutas, and he goes immediately for that cannon. Let's see how the reaction is. Oh, he doesn't have 100 energy yet though. I'm assuming it's 100 energy for that. Probes need to run at this point because these muta are going to kill them pretty quickly, just like parked over them here. Cannon being rebuilt, obviously not going to get up. And yeah, Tim just lying in wait with that Dark Archon. Almost has enough energy. DeWalt sees it now, but oh no. Okay. Well, that will take care of those Mutalisks. And there ends the Muta threat, so that also goes okay for Tim. Dark Archon definitely pays for itself when you kill off 6 or 7 Muta. But Tim lost some probes. That, you know, the Dark Archon paid for himself, but those mutas did a bit of damage. I think that was 7 or 8 probe kills we saw there. And the supply is definitely a bit closer now, despite losing all those muta, reflecting that a decent number of probes did pass. Trying to get a feel for exactly how many we have. Yeah, that's not a crazy healthy economy for Tim anymore at this point. And a few muta waiting over here, but I don't think you'll be able to get a whole lot done with them at this stage. Might be able to like find a Templar and snipe it, but I imagine that Dark Archon is going to be brought with the army. Oh, nice little group of Hydras coming back here from DeWalt, making it a pain for Tim to... oh, actually, wait, the Dark Archon is not doing anything right now, so these extra muta that have been made are sniping a few of the Templar. Dark Archon nowhere near having enough energy, so yeah, these muta are now working out for DeWalt very well. Kills off all the High Templar. And that is going to leave DeWalt fairly safe from this army. Pure Gateway army, not going to bust down. 3 Sunkens walled off, along with a couple groups of Hydra out on the map. Just not going to happen, especially at that size of the army. So Tim trying to get his economy back up and running, cannot make out of all these gateways. Where is he at? He's at 1 attack, 1 armor. He is double forging for 2-2. So again, going to have very, very good upgrades. And now DeWalt just setting up a nice concave outside of Tim's base. Muta coming in here. They did not go to where they needed to go, and a storm goes down, and it's actually a pretty decent one. DeWalt trying to spread those Hydras back a little bit here from the Zealots. And I think he wants to bust, but is he going to have enough? There is another Templar back here with a storm, but Tim has a lot of units as well. I don't think DeWalt can necessarily bust this. Oh, good Maelstrom. Now let's see if he can hit a good storm on top of some of those Hydras. Well, let's see. He's trying to get in here, but there's still a lot of cannons left. And there's the storm on all of those Hydras. That does a tremendous amount of damage, and DeWalt is forced to run away now. And Tim should be producing out of most of these gateways, having had a little bit more time to build a few probes. And now Tim out on the map with a fairly scary army, especially if there's like one more round of Zealots. Actually just making a lot of Dragoons as well. A bit of a mix from Tim right now. But DeWalt is absolutely not going to bust Tim at this point. 4 Templar, he's got his tech running. It's not going to happen. So Lurker is on the way for DeWalt, and he will be needing a 4th base here shortly. This Overlord is still alive. I wonder if Tim's ever going to kill it. He's just going to let it hang out in the base. Although, to be honest, DeWalt doesn't seem aware of it either. And a 3rd base going down here for Tim. Actually, there's 2 Overlords hanging out here. I didn't even notice the 2nd one. Alright, and Tim running in here, gonna try to take out DeWalt's 4th base. Let's see how it goes. Hydras are fighting from a really good position up on the high ground, but these storms are excellent for DeWalt, and nothing coming in from the other side, so it looks like this attack might be successful here from Tim. I was skeptical of it at first, coming in on that low ground with Zerg able to flank you on both sides, but those storms absolutely decimating DeWalt. However, and this has been a problem for Tim in the previous game, there's no observer here, so he can't continue to attack. He has killed the 4th base, though, so that is a nice win. And do we have drops now? Looks like we might have some drops. And no... okay, he does have the robo, at least. Just needs to get the observatory. Where is his observatory? Is he not making an observatory? What? What? Okay, that's weird. I guess this probe is probably the probe that's going to make the observatory. Getting a transfer over to that 3rd base. Very few cannons. Where is the observatory? You know he's got lurkers. And on 2-2, headed straight to 3-3. There's DeWalt's upgrades. Let's see, he's getting close to his 2nd carapace? No, his 1st carapace. He's got 2 Hydra missiles. Oh, we're gonna find a Zealot walking over around this side of the map looking for some hidden bases. Trying to make sure nothing sneaky is going on. And there we go. Finally we have the observatory. And meanwhile, DeWalt just setting up on the high ground with a nice deep lurker field. A few Hydras running in there. Will they get a Templar snipe? I think they'll get one. Oh, no, he's... okay, there we go. So, yeah, definitely worth it. 6 Hydra for a Templar snipe. These Overlords both still alive in the base. Just chilling, just hanging out. And Tim just kind of gathering himself up, getting ready. DeWalt reestablishing that 4th. The Zealot actually still running around here on this side of the map. And DeWalt now has Overlords at all key points to check for, or at least units to check for Protoss expansions. So very, very nice coverage. And let's see, we're getting the melee and carapace, so we should see some more lings coming out. We are seeing that transition into Hive at this point. And Tim again with that 155 supply block. Seems to be Tim's supply block Achilles heel. There we go. Yeah, that's a bad supply block. He had a really bad one at 155 last game too, so it's like the Achilles heel for Tim. 155 supply. It's a sticking point. Alright, here goes some Hydra, but this looks set up to get massacred with a storm, but not to be. And we have Protoss trying to prevent Zerg from expanding over here. And it looks like being successful about that. And a few of Tim's units have strayed a bit. So going to bring them back onto the high ground pod. Storm going down, going to chase those Hydra back. And Tim has cleared this out. Now, does he want it for himself, or did he just want to clear Zerg off of it? That is the big question. So, wow, great upgrades for Protoss. Almost at 3-3, and Zerg is at, well, not even 1-0. Getting closer to 2-1, but I mean, Protoss is going to have 3-3 before Zerg has 2-1 with his Lings. Does have 2-1 on the Hydras already, but the Lings are very far behind. It's going to make this Protoss, especially with that armor advantage, the Protoss is going to be super beefy. Like, the damage from these Lings, the output is going to be really shitty. 5 with, like, 3 armor, 2 hits per Ling, ugh. It's going to be a very strong Protoss army. Like, I don't even think DeWalt should fight it too much until he's, like, forced to, or ideally until he's caught back up a bit in upgrades, because those Lings are just going to do absolutely nothing. Alright, looks like there's going to be a small little fight over here. Now, DeWalt catching just enough Protoss that, you know, this is the kind of fight, obviously, you can take, even with that large disparity in upgrades. And now we have a Protoss attack here coming into Lurker Field. It is definitely a very deep Lurker Field, but it is very spaced out. Like, it's resilient to storms, but it honestly feels too spaced out. I would rather see more of a line to kind of shred everything that's coming in. This can sort of be fought a couple Lurkers at a time. So we'll see if Tim can force his way up here. Now, remember, DeWalt did kind of hold on to that top base, so this is an important attack for Tim here. He definitely doesn't want to let Zerg just get away with this here, but it looks like DeWalt doing a pretty good job with his hive play here. Actually, does he have hive yet? I don't know if he does. But all those zealots being sent in, not the best control, and of course it's just hard to break up lurkers on a high ground is a nightmare. A large flood of Lings coming in, very compacted though. And actually, do they even have speed? No, they don't. I was gonna say, they were looking a bit sluggish. Will that be enough to allow Tim to get up here and break? I think those upgrades might be costing DeWalt quite a bit. Good storms are going down on the lurkers, and now it looks like Tim does have control of that high ground pod. Now, is he keeping up strong macro behind this? Kind of. He's going to need that if he wants to break it here, because DeWalt much closer, having reinforcements. We're getting swarms up, and that looks like it's going to force Tim back, especially without any remaining zealots in the composition to storm to prevent Zerg from chasing. Would like to get this Archon up. We'll get it up. And DeWalt, for right now, just trying to hold it. Wow, that is a large... Wow. Wow, if that would have been reinforced earlier, I think Tim would have broken the position back then. So a bit slow on the reinforcements. Going to clear out a few of these lurkers on the high ground. And now he's going to move in. And wow, look at that. That is like... He had a whole nother army just waiting at home. And it looks like he's going to break DeWalt over here at his 4th base. Only 1 lurker left to defend. Now, some units are getting stuck up here fighting places they don't want to. That swarm is proving to be useful in that manner. A lot of these Dragoons here are going to die for nothing, but the 4th base of DeWalt being ransacked right now, and not really that many drones at his 5th base. DeWalt still holds his high ground, but it's basically 2 lurkers that are keeping him holding the high ground. Storm's going down. Will that eliminate both of those? No, needs 1 more. Now all the lurkers are gone from the high ground pod, and Tim has plenty of units back at home, but it looks like having killed the 4th, he says, hey, I'm not even going to worry about trying to bust this. I'm going to go over here and try to finish off your last relevant base, but it looks like Tim is playing his way into a winning position, and now another large reinforcement here from Tim. DeWalt doing his best. Are we going to go for Ob Snipes? What is the name of the game? Gets the Scourge in there, does get 1 Obs, but only 1. And now Tim attacking. Zealots are way too far in front. Not the ideal way to attack all of this Zerg, but does Tim just have too much for DeWalt? Not that many units coming over, and Dragoons on top of the lurkers. No defilers here, and Tim has broken through. There's not really a huge flood of units here from DeWalt, so I don't think he's going to be able to stop this base from getting broken with these Lings flooding, and especially with the rather poor upgrades. Does he have Adrenal? Okay, I think he has Adrenal. But the upgrades are just, you know, it's 3-1 against what? 1-2, 2-1? 1-2? I mean, that's tough to do any damage with those Lings. You can see, just look how much longer these Dragoons are lasting than what we're used to. You know, when you're surrounded by a flood of cracklings, usually those Dragoons just melt. But in this case, you know, they're dying, but they're holding on. And now all these bases have been cleaned up, and that leaves DeWalt with just his initial 3-base economy against a solid Protoss working off of 2 or 3 bases. He's got this one mining, he's got this one mining. Honestly, he could probably use 1 more base. The drones are being picked off here. And wow, macro from Tim really slipping during some of these fights. Only at 127 supply with a large bank, but it seems to be enough to take care of DeWalt for the time being. And DeWalt realizes that and says GG Tim with the 2-0 over DeWalt. And of course, Tim went on to beat me, so he went into the round of semifinals? Yeah, so Tim's in the semifinals. Now let's see what other games we have, where we're at. Looks like most people have their uploads. Some people are not doing the best job of uploading reps. Okay, no, that was a walkover, so it just reported weird. So from round of 16, we have Elmaster walked over Dandy, Tim 2-0 over DeWalt, Rogi walk over Choboswagons, aka Jealous, Zero walked over Story MX. We haven't seen the results of Tai 2 versus Radley yet. We had a walkover for True Touch over Oltic. We have Terra versus Cryok, and then we have a walkover. Jordaddy Castro, I think, was either player is a walkover. I don't believe either of them showed up. So let's do that and that. So actually that's going to be a direct... Alright. So I guess our next series is going to be Tai 2 against Radley. Whoop, wrong thing. Create. And so far there's only a game 1 up for this series, so we're just gonna see. Actually, this is game 2 probably, but we'll see what we got here. Tai 2 versus Radley, round of 16. Here we go. Spawning in the top left hand position as the Teal Zerg, we have Tai 2. And in the top right position as the, I don't even know what color that is, whitish Terran, Radley. What is the word for that color? I know it, but I can't think of it. Well, obviously Tai 2 is the favorite. Looking at BSL ladder and MMR and some other things, Tai 2 has been up there near the top. I think he's sitting 2.2, 2.3k-ish, pretty far up there. And Radley is a reasonable player, but I don't believe he's ever reached those heights. Radley, if you have, I apologize, but I would think Radley is probably like around 2k MMR, give or take, maybe 100 or so, from what I remember, although it's been 6 months, so it's possible he's had some dramatic improvement. And yeah, Tai 2 does this kind of stuff a lot. We have a fast pool from Tai 2, and when I say a fast pool, I mean a 5 pool. Gonna sneak in an extra drone, so it's kind of like economic 5 pool, basically a lot of pressure on Terran, chance to outright kill him, but if not, honestly, all you gotta do is get 4 or 5 SCV kills, and it's still a pretty even game. Downside for Tai 2 is it is a 4-player map, and he is not scouting correctly. The upside for him is that this Overlord is headed down here, so he's probably not going to send his Lings in this direction, which will leave the default direction for his Lings to be to the right, so there's a good chance, given his scouting path, that he will find Radley on his first try. Oh, actually, is he going to drone scout ahead? Alright, he's going to drone scout ahead. Make sure those Lings can come to the right base. Despite the hit in economy, Radley says, what the fuck? True Touch is in game. Was in game? I don't know exactly what the deal there is. And we got a barracks going up for Tai 2. Alright, so this drone is going to find the base. So Lings are going to go to the right spot right away. Alright. So we'll see how Radley's micro is against the 5 pool here from Tai 2. Now, is he going to chase the drone? No, but he's not going to go very far off course at all. Now he's already corrected course. Drone has arrived. And Tai 2 is going to make an Overlord. And then what does he make behind this? Does he just keep droning, or does he make another pair of Lings? Alright, he's going to make another pair of Lings. Having seen that there's just the barracks up, thinking he can do some serious damage. and Radley is about to be having a less than ideal day, as 6 undefended Lings now flooding into his base. Of course, it is Tai2. Tai2 definitely has... Oh, Tai2 misses his little setup around the Marine, and let's see some good initial SCV blocks, but Tai2 is immediately on that Marine. Too slow of a reaction there from Radley, but the SCVs get off some good hits. Can he get another SCV with these 2 remaining Lings? Not at the moment. Now he's going to chase down the Marine, probably. Oh, drone just sent home, I guess. Thought he was going to do something cute with the drone drill, but not quite able. We have more Lings coming across the map, and right now Tai2 pretty focused on this Zergling play. So we'll see. He's trying to look for an opening there, I think, to get at that Marine, but so far feeling Radley doing a pretty good job with his SCVs. But now he's got to deal with Lings on 2 fronts. One Marine goes down almost immediately. Nice trapping on that one, but he's lost the other one, and he's losing the SCV building this barracks. And now Tai2 looking to catch that Marine. Perfect positioning there on those Lings. And suddenly this game looks to be going much more Tai2's way, except for the fact that Radley has this one Marine, and Radley actually has everything pulled, which is a bit of a problem. Because Zerg still has an economy. You really can't take everything off, or else you can't make anything more. He does have money for a few more Marines while he waits, trying to get control of that ramp, pinning Tai2 into the corner. Good defense so far from Radley, although a few more Lings trickling in. Can they get on top of this Marine? No, the SCVs are doing an excellent job. Still 1 Marine alive, 2 Marines out now. It's looking like Radley may actually hold this against Tai2. Although Lings are continuing to come across, we'll see. There are 2 Marines there. He really needs to get up to 3 or 4 and then get in a solid position where Lings can't get a surround on. There we go. Picks that one off. Should pick off this last Ling. There we go. Has the 3rd Marine out now. Is he ready for this? Alright, he's trying to run back into the minerals. SCV's being drilled on top. 2 more Marines coming in to fight. 1 goes down, but 2 there still fighting. And it looks like Radley getting just enough money to keep this going. Tai2 at 5 Lings, but now we can see that Tai2 has transitioned out of this, so it is held here for Radley, although Tai2 is going to try to get a few more Marines, and it looks like he'll get at least 1, if not 2. It's going to be iffy, not quite 2. So held for Radley, and looking at the economy, it's still pretty decent for Radley. Not too many SCVs lost, so Radley not necessarily in a totally screwed position. And now the question is, where is Tai2 going from here? He's going immediately for his gas, so there's one of 2 possibilities here. He's going to go for a super fast lair, because he's not... Oh, well, looking at that, I think that answers the question. He is almost certainly going to go for Ling speed, and just, you know what, if 1 hat Lings, 5 pool Lings didn't work, then let's go for 2 hat with speed Lings. He's going to leave 1 on gas for a possible lair transition later on. And out comes Radley. Oh man, Radley's got to be so careful. Really wants to get his base up. We'll see if he puts down a bunker. Oh, Tai2 walks on top of those Lings. Nice usage of the top of the ramp, but let's face it, now there's 7 Lings out. More being made, and speed about halfway. If Radley doesn't put up a bunker, I'm pretty scared for him, or some sort of wall or something. He's walking out there in the open. The Ling's going for the surround, and oh no, Radley was on move command. That is not what Radley needed at all. His Marine's taking tremendous damage. He even says Raffle. He knows this isn't good. The Lings have chased him back down the ramp. Now it's back to Zergling pressure, but this time there's 2 hatches and rallied speed. I don't think Radley's going to be able to hold this. I think Tai2 has this game. I mean, you know, he was able to hold on to when it was 1 hatch rallying slow Lings, but this is 2 hatch rallying Lings that are very close to having speed. Make that having speed right now. I don't see how Radley can possibly defend this. That was the antithesis of what Radley needed. He had a chance, but now everything is dying. He's overrun with Lings. And I think he's saying what we were saying, should have started phone? I don't know what he means now, but that's it. And Radley says, GG. Tai2 takes that game. And with that, I guess the series. I don't think we have a game 1, but it does show that Tai2 won 2-0 over Radley. So now for round of 16, have they not uploaded? That's gonna annoy me if they haven't. Damn it, Terror! You're supposed to upload your reps. Terror or Crack, whoever you won, you're supposed to upload reps. Well, we'll get back to that series later. You guys already watched me play Tim and saw how that went. So we have 0 against Rogi. Alright, so this is going to be a round of 8. New folder, round of 8. Game1.rep. G2.rep. And G3.rep. Alright, we'll get the rest of the replays while we're here too, if we can. Alright, so this is True Touch and Tie 2. Alright, new folder. Game 1. Game 2.rep. Game 3.rep. Alright, and then we have, okay, Terry, that one's going to be a walkover. And then eventually we'll have those games, so we'll go into our next series now. Round of 8, and this is Rogi against, shoot, I forget who. Is it Rogi against 0? Might be Rogi versus 0. So spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the yellow Terran, we have Rogi. And in the top right-hand corner as the orange Zerg, the organizer of the fantastic, wonderful, bombastic Star League, we have 0. A well-known Polish Zerg. And Rogi, despite being in Foreign Broodor Discord, I actually don't know how strong Rogi is. I believe he is reasonably decent, but I'm not actually sure. Alright, so Overlord, of course, out immediately. And the map, if you guys can't identify it already, is Blue Storm. And I think we are all reasonably familiar with the layout of Blue Storm. Of course, the main feature of Blue Storm is the pathing of the map. What is it, Alt-Z? Yeah, Alt-Z. The main features of the pathing: small units can walk through here, but all other units cannot fit. And the way the AI routing works on this map, if you take a bigger unit like a tank or an Ultralis or a Dragoon or anything like that, and just right-click over here, it will derp around trying to find its way through here. It doesn't understand that it has to go over to here. So you have to make sure you rally all your units out to here, and then from here, you can comfortably walk around the map. But this causes problems with big units. And it also allows 2 different paths for small units to get in the case of more aggressive play. It looks like we are going to have an overpull here from 0, and Rogi walling off. Now, he's not taking the gas, so I think we're going to see kind of more slightly older school Terran, not looking like 111, not looking like mech. And let's see here, we got a drone going down, getting that hatchery up for 0. Spawning pool is done, and we're just gonna have, oh, okay, he did not, he just made them independently of each other, so we're gonna have 2 lings. There's a wall, so not gonna be able to get anything done with the lings unless we had some weird moment. And, oh, okay, Rogi is gonna opt to play a bit aggressively here with 2 barracks. Gonna lift that off, let the SCV in, and then we'll get started on Marine production. And, oh, actually, wait a second. Take a look at this. This is going to be interesting here. Okay, that's not ideal for Rogi. So Rogi does not get to get in and see that there are more lings being made. That would mean that if he did lift his barracks at an early point for some reason, it could go pretty poorly for him because there's going to be a decent number of lings here from Zero, but there's no speed, so I'm honestly surprised he's made 8 lings. It really shouldn't be able to get anything done. 1 SCV there, already ready to repair, and you can get 2 or 3 more. Not enough surface area to quickly kill the depot or the barracks. And now the gas also on the way. We should see an academy going down pretty soon. Alright, so lings arrived, but there's a wall. And now we're back into drones for Zero. And he's taken his gas. Should have an academy down here somewhere. Yes, we do. And Marine's just going to be produced out of that barracks, and Zero's just going to kind of sit there chilling with his Zerglings. Going to send a couple Zerglings back, probably in case of, say, an SCV scout wandering into his base. And busy getting that 3rd hatch down. So economy not the greatest for Zero. Overpool 8 lings. You know, not the strongest economy, but also Rogi playing 1 base, so it's not like he's got the usual Terran FE economy. Academy is done. We should see Stim right about now. Right about now? Maybe? There we go. Alright, so Stim for Rogi. And a Hydralisk Den from Zero. Interesting. Before the lair, so we should be seeing some Hydra play. Okay. Well, I don't know what he saw. He's probably thinking that maybe this is mech or something like that. But he has now canceled that and opted for his lair. It looks like a little bit of indecision. Couldn't figure out what was going on. I wish I knew actually what was going through his mind there. But for the moment, the only concern is when Terran suddenly walks out here, he's seen it now. There should be some, yeah, there's a reaction right away. He's going to need probably at least 3 creep colonies to deal with this. And wow, this is gonna walk straight away? Oh, we're going to have a bit of a backstab. This is nice from Zero. Either going to get some damage done or buy some time. The wall is not tight. Firebat is out at a good time, but bam, immediately picked off. And Rogi is going to move straight across the map. Now, I don't think Rogi has his Marine range yet, and oh man, he's losing quite a few SCVs already. That's like, what, 4 SCVs? And this Firebat will go down. Oh, nice micro there, but just a little too beefy, and this does get cleaned up, but are the Sunkens down in time? And oh no, he's stimmed and run ahead, but the medic is not there, so the drone pull is going to be much more effective, and it looks like Zero is going to hold on. So clutch defense. Is he going to let this Sunken finish? Yeah, it looks like he's going to let it finish. And in the meantime, his lair is done. Obviously couldn't put down his Spire right away. And had a lot of drones coming out, so that is good. Healthy economy for him now. Did get 4 or 5 SCV kills with that Ling backstab, so definitely worth it. Plus a Firebat. And where is the tech? Am I missing something behind the minerals? No. We're just kind of waiting for sufficient minerals. I think he wants to get a few more drones in before he actually places that Spire. Feels good enough about where he's at. And I'm assuming Spire, because if it was Hydra Den... Oh, there's the Spire. Okay. Wow. That's a cute location. Nice. I wish I would have seen where that scan was. I don't know if Rogi scanned it. Like, he's probably going to assume it, but whether or not he's formally scanned it. And that was the other part of the problem for Rogi's attack. His range was not done. So now he's just sitting on the high ground pod, which will definitely prevent any lings from going out, if there were lings. There are not in this case, though. And let's see, range is finally finished here for Rogi, and he is going to start his second command center, and then we'll see where he wants to take this game. Are we going to see, you know, a couple more racks come down and some heavy pressure, or are we going to see more looking for factory and quick vessels for pre-hive pressure? Oh wow, another Ling sneaks in from Zero. I don't understand how he's out of position for that. But this is nice. So Zero gets a nice full scout off. Sees barracks going up. Is he going to get an SCV out of this? I really hope not. Okay, there we go. A little drill prevents that Ling from getting any kills at all. And the Muta on the way now for Zero. And there's no eBay, guys. There's no eBay. Oh, actually, I lied. There is an eBay. There are no turrets started yet, though. And normally you want to start turrets... right about when the Muta are being morphed for optimal timing, but these turrets are going to be late. And that's not a whole lot of Marines to defend this. Alright, turrets are going up now, but again, this is going to be really tight. I think the Muta are just going to get there before turret finishing. Now, he will get some turrets up in the main if he starts building them, but honestly, Oh, he can pick off the SCV right away. Yeah, he's going to go immediately for those SCVs, making the turrets. One just finishes, but it's also going to die. And there we go, immediately pulled back. So there are a few turrets up. He's going to need some good repairs to hold on right now, especially as he waits for a few more Marines and medics to get out. Muta coming back in here, getting some harass off. And in the meantime, a third base going up as well as the Hydra Den. So this is not going to be like committed Muta. It's going to be played very, very typical here by Zero, just doing some delaying with the Muta. Trying to pick off that turret, gets it. Now he's got a nice area there to work on the minerals. And he's got his Muta to play with. He's actually got one that he can cycle out as he gets wounded. And runs in again, trying to take out that turret, and down it goes. Now he can pick off the Marines over here at that top area. Only taking one shot of turret fire right now, which is not bad at all. Finishes off yet another turret, and what does Rogi have? All right, he's got a lot of his army inside his main base. Is he throwing? No, he's thrown 0 turrets over there. He's got a completely undefended main right now. So honestly, if Zero does swing over there, that could be problematic for Rogi. And taking a quick look inside the base, we can see lurkers are getting fairly close to being done. Third base is up and running. Gas has not been taken yet, but Zero not quite getting the shots off with those Muta he wants. Possibly the game a little bit high on turn rate, or possibly his Muta micro just not quite as sharp as he would like. Third base is now up and immediately into hives. We're gonna have a pretty fast hive here from Zero. And again, continuing to deny the turret over here. And look how thin Rogi's mining is at this base. And in general, it's not a very healthy economy from Rogi. And he's only just now started a factory. So I don't think he's going to have much at all in the way of hive timing. Zero will be able to comfortably get the filers out before vessels. And this is pretty standard play, so it's not like he's going to be showing up with a vessel cloud of 4 or 5 vessels and just be able to irradiate lurkers to run over positions. It's just going to be a pretty comfortable game so far for Zero. I mean, his lurkers are already out, starting to be morphed here at this third base, although he needs one more. But he should be able to defend this pretty easily. Oh, and actually, never mind. Zero is going to get some lurkers right on top of the ramp, so that really is unfortunate for Rogi, who's going to get absolutely 0 map. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I forgot you could do that. Shit. Alright, so that's still okay for Rogi, as he is going to get out on the map. Zero really needs another lurker at this base, or it could be bad, but actually, looks like we're going to have a bit of a backstab here, and that is an incredibly annoying backstab position, because you can't really return with this army. Now let's see if he repositions this to try to block the choke. Muta are waiting here. The main is still totally undefended, and Zero has not recognized this. The amount of damage he could be doing with the Muta right now, he could literally be destroying all of Rogi's economy with lurkers here. If the Muta just flew into the main, there's barely any units at home, but Zero has not fleshed that out. This drone is obviously going to get assassinated. Now, we've got a couple lurkers at home. Is this going to be a desperation attempt here from Rogi? Or is he just going to try to camp outside the front? His natural is shut down right now. He's a ways away from the vessel. He's running in there, but there are a lot of units, and actually he just doesn't even think he can get anything done, and says GG. Zero takes game number 1. Let's see. I just need to find one person. I could have sworn you typed in chat at some point. Yeah. And let's go into game 2 on Katrina. So, spawning in the 9 o'clock position as the blue Terran, we have Rogi, and spawning in the 3 o'clock position as the red Zerg, we have Zero. Up 1-0 over Rogi. And we will again show this map, because as we go back in time, we might be all becoming less familiar with some of these maps now. Most of you that have been around for a while know this map, but if you're a newer player, might not be as familiar with this. This is from around 2008 or so, and the setup here, this map is Katrina, and the setup here is this side disruptor helps to create a bit of a choke for wall offs and those sorts of things, and then you have more or less a giant long corridor here. The amount of gateways you could fit in this corridor is actually pretty terrifying. Probably 20 or 25, like production buildings. I mean, hatches, gateways, anything. And then you've got your back door natural, and then you have options for thirds at either the mineral only or on this high ground, which is pretty choky, reasonably easy to defend, but does have multiple entrances to worry about. You know, it's not really near your main either. So like if you take this base, you know, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 ways into it, so that kind of offsets it. It's definitely a much more difficult third to hold than, say, Fighting Spirit, where it's just like, oh, I got a high ground with 2 little narrow chokes and nothing's coming in here. So that's the look at the map, and the map is symmetrical, so it looks that way about pretty much every position. So we will, wrong thing, there we go. And now we'll take a look here. We have a 12 hatch here from 0. Overlord's going out to both bases, and barracks on the way, as well as the gas. Oh wow, below gas, that definitely is a feature of bygone days. I believe there are different positions of gas mining that are more or less efficient, and I believe gas below is moderately less efficient than gas on top, from what I recall. See the barracks about to finish. And now we'll just have to see if this is going to be mech or 1-1-1 or where we're going with this from Rogi. Spawning pool for 0, no greedy, 3 hatch before pool kind of play. Finishing off that wall, not a tight wall, just FYI. I'm almost positive Lynx can slip through that gap. And alright, we got a factory. And we're mining with only 1 guy on gas. It does look like that, so we have pulled 2 from gas. And let's see, where is 0 going to place that 3rd hatchery? He's got his gas up, so we're going to have some fairly quick layer, fairly quick speed, depending on how he wants to play. Oh, do we morph layer? Okay, so not showing the SCV, the layer here. Morphing at the back. Got factory almost done. SCV actually sitting here, it looks like maybe to block the gap. Heading back, we got a vulture, so it's looking 1-1-1-ish right now from Rogi. And a Ling coming back here to clean up this SCV. About halfway to the lair, giving a creep colony out in front of the main. So actually it looks like we're just going to have 2 hatch play, probably 2 hatch muta, because, well, we're 50% lair and there's no hydroden. So probably going to see 2 hatch muta out of 0. Vulture's out now. Machine shop being added to the factory. Command center going up behind. And, okay, we're getting an armory. So is this Goliath or is this Starport and Valk? SCV is going to try to come in, doesn't get to see anything. Spire starts here 4-0, nice and prompt. So no scouting intel for Rogi. He's going to have to play blind against this. Perhaps the Vulture will give some insight, but it looks like 0 is fairly ready to deal with this Vulture. And it looks like Rogi does not want to risk running the Vulture in. I mean, this is like if there's, say, Speedlings coming out right now, this Vulture is pretty much your only recourse against those Speedlings. And so if you lose it early, then it's just catastrophic. So he's being very conservative with the Vulture. But the downside is he's not going to get any scouting information, so he still doesn't know what's going on. All right, it looks like this is actually just going to be mech with Goliath. So we'll see how that plays out here. He's going to have his range out fairly soon. And see if he can hold off the 2-hatch Muta from 0. Now, if he can get up a few Goliaths and get range, then the Muta will almost cease to be a threat because Goliaths are just ridiculous against Muta in that regards. You know, they shoot halfway across the map. What are you gonna do? Alright, so a bunch of Muta on the way. And how many Goliaths will we have? It looks like we'll have about 4 Goliaths with 6 on the way by the time the Muta get here. Range will be done though, so that is good news for Ro16, and I think he should be somewhat safe from this in terms of dying. However, the distance between these two bases is reasonably large, and if he doesn't get turrets up, he could lose quite a few SCVs to all of these Muta here. Now, the first 5 might not be scary, but we'll see. All right, Goliath's immediately ready. So nice quick reaction there from Zero, and now Ro16 is getting some turrets up here, so I think Ro16 is going to be all right from the initial harass. Let's see what happens here. 5 Muta cannot really take on 2 turrets. I mean, it's very easy to just grab a couple SCVs and get the repair going. A few Lings coming out, a few more Muta. Oh, they are going to dive in there. Repairs on this one, and Zero is being very determined, but now the Goliaths are here. He's not going to get the turret, so Zero taking a lot of damage, and Ro16 holds on with a nice repair. Didn't even need more than 1 SCV. Now a few Lings also out, and a third base going down here from Zero, but there are some Speedlings. He's going to need to make 1 more pair, though, to completely eliminate that Vulture. But Ro16 is going to turn that around, and now Zero is droning up a little bit more, adding a few Mutas, and getting ready to play against Mech. Alright, so a few more Lings do pop. Vulture is picked off now. And I think we're going to see mostly Eco. Actually, wow, he's going to make a lot of Muta. Maybe he's just going to try to go mass Muta. That is something you can do. If you get a large enough number of Muta and just kind of fly on top of the Goliaths, and your number of them is reasonably high, the splash is overwhelming, and the Muta actually end up beating the Goliaths. But you need a decent number. You have to be kind of ahead gas-wise to make that work. Zero leaving one of these Muta at home. Now, I don't know if that's what he's going to try for, but he is taking a very fast third gas, and the fact that he's making primarily Muta and doesn't seem to be droning makes me think that that is how he wants to play on this map. Wow, very aggressively running in there, possibly accidentally too far, as he takes another full round of Goliath pot shots. The fact that he's getting Muta armor is also suggestive of the fact that he's going to play this way. So yeah. We'll see if Ro16 can deal with the large flood of Muta. It's going to make keeping each Goliath fairly important. So lots and lots of Mutas coming out right now here from Zero. Definitely hurting his economy to do so. Now we got, what, 4 facts here from Ro16. Needing to add those depots. A little barracks position there. Not a bad spot. Trying to prevent direct clicking on of the turret. See, working on an armor upgrade. Interesting. Muta flying in here at the back, going for that turret, just going to camp the turret, gets the one. Will he get the second one? Looks like he will this time, but now the Goliaths are coming down, and oh, he's actually going to run in here and try to pick up a few SCVs. Can't quite get him, and then is chased out of his base by the endless fleet of Goliaths. Does lose a Muta in the process. So whether a Muta was worth 2 turrets, I don't know, probably not quite, but Zero's getting a lot of Mutas now. Now we're at like 2 groups, which starts to get a little bit scary. That's the kind of Muta numbers where you can just sort of fly on top of stuff and kill it. Looking at the number of Goliaths we have, like two control groups of Muta flying on top of 1 control group of Goliaths. It's going to be a scary moment here for Ro16. And there's also the possibility that Zero will use 1 group of these Muta to kind of draw the Goliaths away, and then he'll just fly in with the other group. Like, he's going to draw the Goliaths up here and possibly fly in with the second group here at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to have some diversionary tactics here from Zero, and actually these Goliaths look like they're going to move out of the map, but now flying into the bottom base. There are still 3 turrets here though, but Zero getting off some nice micro shots with these Muta, trying to pick off as many SCVs as he can, slowing down Ro16's economy. And Ro16 is not heavily responding to this. He's mostly just going to go ahead and move out on the map. We've seen that a few times. He really doesn't like to turn his army around. It seems like he wants to commit to his plan. And so now we're just going to have sort of a straight-up fight. And if Zero wins this fight, he's going to be in a really, really strong position, possibly win outright. And if Rogi wins this fight, well, it'll be an interesting game for him, because he's not going to win it overwhelmingly. He's going to win it marginally, and there's still going to be a lot of production, and I just feel like Zero is in a pretty strong position, to be honest, right now. Especially if Rogi starts finding him spread out like this. Like, this is going to be devastating. Like, his army is really not very well together. We can see a Ling being split out, trying to figure out where that is. And Overlord is going to die here from Zero, and obviously just the supply is also kind of telling the tale of where he is. So here we go, a bunch of Muta diving on top of the Goliaths. And is it just going to be too many Muta? It really looks like it, to be honest. Just a bunch everywhere. Goliaths are sort of melting to these Muta. Very split up, not coordinated, not really able to stutter step backwards, and that was just absolutely crushed. And immediate GG from Rogi, and Zero takes the series 2-0. Which will take us into True Touch versus Tai 2. Also in the round of 8. Now this should be a pretty solid Premier Series, although it should be ZVZ. Yes, it is. So spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the Teal Zerg, we have Tai 2. And in the top right-hand position as the Orange Zerg, we have Minus's True Touch. So a battle awaits, but I would have to say, given what I remember, True Touch would be the favored player in this series. At ZVZ, there's less options for aggressive builds, and True Touch is generally known for having pretty solid ZVZ and just pretty solid Zerg control in general, which is usually a pretty solid recipe in this matchup for success. And I think he's just generally been a higher ranking than Tai 2 overall. True Touch says, ooh. And both players are indeed making an Overlord. And we're just gonna wait for money and see, is there a pool? Huh, Tai 2, was that a mind game? You 9-pull me? Alright, so we got 12 hatch, or maybe 12 pull. From both players. Alright, looks like we're gonna have a pretty skill-based CVZ. Let's see. Oh, actually, wait, True Touch is gonna put down the pool. Tai 2 is gonna, okay, so Tai 2 is gonna have a subtle advantage here, opting to 12 hatch against the 12 pool of True Touch, because basically the way this plays out, if you're not familiar with ZVZ, is 12 hatch is going to have a little bit better economy. It has a slightly slower pool and a very slightly slower gas, as it's generally played, but those differences are not enough to even make up travel distance. So essentially Tai 2 just gets to play with a better economy. However, let's take a look and notice that Tai 2 is definitely not getting nearly as fast of a gas. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But if you, I mean, you know, it's going to be an extra probably 100 gas. So possibly a subtle 1 meter advantage here, but given travel time and other things, and the generally better eco of 2 hatch, it's just, or of hatch first, it ends up being a stronger position from which to play. And 3 Lings, of course, on the way. Neither player having scouted yet. Tai 2's pool coming up. And 6 Lings out for True Touch. Oh, okay, and True Touch is going to go for speed first. Which makes sense, in part because he hasn't scouted Tai 2, and neither has Tai 2. So both players are going to go speed first. They did go for economic builds. They don't know if the opponent is being aggressive, and if the opponent was being aggressive, a faster pool, etc., then it would be pretty necessary. And actually, Tai 2 has a creep colony on the way with a large drone transfer. I guess he's seen these Lings coming in, And yeah, I think Tai2 was a little bit greedier even than normal. He's going to need to cancel that. Lings are out now, and a big old drone drill coming over here. Is he going to morph the Sunken? Yes, he is. All right, so that is going to cost Tai2 and definitely put True Touch back into the game economically. And now just running around with the Lings now. What is the difference in Ling speed timing? This is the scary moment now for Tai2 where True Touch could maybe run through, although I forgot that was there. That's probably something. Oh, nice little catch there for Tai2. And now it looks like he's sort of secured his choke for the moment. And True Touch actually going to switch back in, get a few drones. Tai2 waiting on his Overlord. And it looks like... No, he's just going to leave his drones there at that base. Lair now quite a bit faster for True Touch. In fact, Tai2 has not even started a Lair yet. Alright, he's got 100 gas. Now, is he going to start a Lair? He's going to stick with Lings. Is he going to... Okay, so he's going to start his Lair. But that's a pretty big difference in Lair timing. That's a pretty big difference in Lair timing. Like to the point where I think Muta are going to arrive for Tai2 before... or for Muta are going to arrive for True Touch before Tai2 is able to produce any of his own. In the meantime, though, some Lings sneaking around, but True Touch has added a Sunken, and he seems at least a little bit aware of this. And looks like, yeah, he's ready to defend. Drones immediately pulled to. Quick reaction time. Looks like a few of these drones are on the control group. And here we go. Tai2 trying to bust in. Is it enough? He's attacking the first Sunken, but no, it looks like he's going to retreat for the moment and continue to flood Ling. He's going to try to keep True Touch occupied, force him using Larva on those Zerglings so he can't just pop a whole lot of Muta. But the truth is, I think True Touch just has enough to defend right now, and he's actually going to double Sunken up. Okay, Tai2 positioning Ling so he can come in sort of from two different directions, but True Touch is also preparing for that, so trying to set up a little concave with his Lings. And let's see, Spire timing, yeah, alright, it's going to be close. Muta are done. Alright, here we go. A bunch of Lings running in, trying to get a big old surround in there, but is it enough? With two Sunkens, it's probably not going to be enough. And it looks like True Touch takes that battle, and that is GG from Tai2. True Touch takes game number 1. Which takes us to game number 2 on Katrina. Spawning in the top hand position, trying to close out the series 2-0. We have Minus's True Touch. And in the bottom position, looking to extend to a game 3, we have Tai2, who immediately scouts incorrectly, and True Touch, of course, both players are going to scout incorrectly because it would just be weird as hell to just send your Overlord randomly straight across the map. It would not be a logical scouting pattern. And, of course, some drones for both players. Nobody's going to pull on 5. That's not really that great in ZVZ. And let's see here. Now we're just going to wait to see what happens with the 100 minerals. Are we going to morph an Overlord? Yes, we are. No, we're not. Okay, so 9 pool versus something. Boom. Now, the question here is, does True Touch overpool? If he overpools, he's in a great spot, and it looks like he is. Okay, so True Touch gonna have a nice little advantage here. Tai2 going for 9 pool, but True Touch has played the build order mind games to the best of his ability and has a nifty little advantage now. 9 pool speed really shouldn't be able to get anything done against a well-played overpool. Speed will be not that much farther behind here for True Touch, but of course True Touch will have that marginally better economy. So that does not bode well for Tai2. He had the theoretical advantage in the previous game and was defeated. This time, True Touch has the theoretical advantage. Is that 3 drones? Yeah, okay, it's just side extractor. Slightly less efficient. This map and its weird gases. Oh, alright, Taitu's gonna take guys right off gas. And focus just on... Oh, he's actually gonna go for a really fast layer. Alright. Alright, so Taitu is gonna opt for some... Oh, True Touch is actually gonna do... They're both gonna do the same thing. Both feeling confident to defend with slow links, and both gonna go from fast layer. So again, this is just advantage True Touch. Same build, same idea, just one more drone that True Touch is playing with. True Touch has some of his lings out. Getting another pair out will be fine to deal with the lings from Tai2. And now they both should know where each other's at. Surprisingly, Tai2... Okay, there we go. Tai2's like, okay. I can turn around now. And now Tai2 grabs gas and puts a few more... Or grabs ling speed and puts a few guys back on gas. Ling speed on the way for True Touch. Almost identical timing. True Touch will just have a slightly faster ling speed, but nice concave on the ramp. So if Tai2 is not careful, he's going to walk right into this. And he's not being careful. Oh no, Tai2 immediately loses 2 lings for free. So any chance of anything going his way just sort of by luck is pretty much shut down right now. We got 10 lings against 8. No way he's breaking up that. Now 12 out Spire is down for both players. And a bunch more lings popping here from Tai2. Has he got 4 on gas? No, he's got 3. It just looks weird. I can't get used to this sideways gas mining. It looks like Tai2 is going to set up a ling concave just on top of the high ground there. And True Touch is going to set up at his main. Ling speed done for True Touch. We got, what, 8 plus 4? No, plus 6, so we got 14 there. I think we have a control group here from True Touch, so there's going to be a subtle ling advantage right now for Tai2. And, oh, that was not a good start for True Touch, especially since Tai2 had the greater number of lings to begin with, so this is going to send him scrambling home. He immediately makes a creep colony, good reaction, trying to get back into those minerals. 1 ling picked off, and let's see what Tai2 can get done here. He's got 2 drones down so far, and this is not bad. Just setting up some micro, looking for a few openings. Drones are pulled now for True Touch, and Tai2 is just going to run around. I guess he's going to go check the back base. I don't know why he felt the need to do that. He can see the timing of the Spire, and no, there's no way there's a hatch. I'm really surprised at that. But yeah, unless maybe he was just thinking, well, maybe he's going to have just thrown down an expansion. But now it looks like True Touch more than stabilized, and Tai2 is kind of awkwardly trapped back here, to be honest. And we're going straight into Muta. We're going to make a couple Muta and some Scourge. And alright, so Tai2 waiting for reinforcement ling. But there is that sunken there that will help fight. And it looks like True Touch will take this fight comfortably. Muta popping out right now. Tai2 also has some Muta on the way. It looks like 3. Whereas True Touch has made 2 and a Scourge or something like that. I thought he made a Scourge. Am I imagining? Maybe I'm imagining a Scourge. It's a Phantom Scourge. It's not real. I don't know. 3 Muta out though for Tai2, and Overlord is going to die for True Touch. Oh, he hasn't started another Overlord. He's got to wait on minerals. Or never mind. No, he's good on Overlords. Sorry. Where? Okay, I'm confused. But all right. I confused myself, I think. And now both players are just going to Muta up, and we will see who has the... Oh, there is a pair of Scourge there. We will see who has the better Mutalist control. And we will see who wants to play the part of aggressor. I think Tai2 might actually have a slightly better economy than True Touch, because he did get 2 drone kills and forced that sunken. And both players were forced to make a decent number of lings. So we'll see if Tai2 can capitalize on that advantage. Right now he's got 5 Muta. True Touch has 4 Muta and a pair of Scourge, so very even there. Yeah, so a lot of this is probably going to come down to these Scourge hits. I mean, if these Scourge all connect and devastate Tai2's Muta, it will be not so great for him. But if Tai2 micros well, he's going to be alright. He's getting a pair of Scourge out for himself. And True Touch going just for a lot of Scourge. Oh, we got an initial shot. And wow, did he already pick off a Muta or land a Scourge? It looks like he did. I don't think Tai2 wants to be out there fighting that. Oh no, this circling is trying to get a drone kill. It's going to draw Tai2 back, going to pick off that Ling. And actually, it looks like Tai2 wants to roll the expansionary dice. Feeling that he's a bit ahead economically, feeling comfortable with this. So we still have 6 Muta here. And how many for Tai2? Oh, man. Oh, okay. So now, if this happens, Tai2 is going to need some pretty decent Scourge hits. The Overlord is definitely going to die. And it looks like, here we go, we got some cloning of the Scourge here from Tai2. Now, how far does he want to push this? He's outnumbered in terms of actual Muta count. And for the moment, True Touch looks like he's just going to fly back home. Turns some Scourge around, gets a free hit off. So that's a good start. And True Touch doing the best he can to micro against these Scourge. Can he get that last one down? Yeah, looks like he did, although one of them connected. But now it is 5 Muta against 2. And oh man, these are double Overlords for Tai2. And yeah, he just realizes there's nothing he can do. GG. True Touch. 2-0 victory. Now, let's see what we have next. Let's do a little refreshing of this guy. Alright, we casted that one. That was a walkover. Alright, let's do our semifinal games, I guess. That's where we'll head. I don't think he lost 4. I thought he lost 2 or 3, but yeah, True Touch definitely got it done. Alright, so let's say semifinals. New folder, semifinals. G1.rep. G2.rep. Let's see, this is going to be our other series. G1.rep. G2.rep. G3.rep. G4.rep. And G5.rep. All right. So, let's see. Wait, did I actually put all of that? Okay, well. All right, so we'll go into game 1 on Nostalgia. And this is the semifinals between Tim and Zero, who will be playing the winner of True Touch and Terror. So, spawning at the, I don't even know what you call this, 11 o'clock position as the Blue Zerg, we have Zero. And in the top right-hand position as the Purple Protoss, we have IRK Tim. Tim did take a 2-0 victory over DeWalt's off-race Zerg. So, yeah, DeWalt known to be quite strong, but of course it was off-race. So we will have to see how Tim does against Zero, who is main race Zerg. I have a feeling Zero's main race Zerg is better than DeWalt Zerg, but we'll see how it goes. And yeah, now we are getting into stranger maps for sure. So as we can see here, this one doesn't look incredibly. Oh, actually, we sort of know this map. I hope you guys have seen this one. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a little bit Destination-esque in this sense. I mean, it has your main base. It's a very large main base, a boatload of space in the main, and then you come down here in a very strange sort of way. Oh, never mind. There we go. There's our ramp, and then you have your natural here. So a little bit rough for Zerg. Zerg is going to be pretty gas starved. And then you have double bridges like destination that guard that, and then it opens into a relatively open middle ground with a few just I don't know what you call them, walls, pods, whatever. And then there's an opening here, and then a large open area into a third base location. And then this third base location is actually ramped over to the natural. So there are 2 entrances to the natural. And given that, Tim is going to opt to play 2 gates against 0. And 0 is going to be opening with a 12 hatch. So let's Alt-Z this guy. Why can't I not think of the name of this map? Was it Nostalgia that I picked? I forget. Or not that I picked, but which map this is. And pylon going up, so we should have a Zlot on the way. Yes, indeed. And some drones here for 0. Okay, so this is Nostalgia. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was some foreign show match series on this a while ago. At least that I remember. I mean, when I say a while ago, I mean like almost 8-9 years ago. But it was like... I remember watching In Control play somebody, I think it was. I forget. There were a couple series on this map, and then of course Korean games on this map as well. Alright, so spawning pool is done. Gonna put some drones on gas, so fairly fast gas, and yeah, it looks like we got a creep colony going down, so that's not a bad start. Is he gonna put down a second one? Oh, he's gonna put down, wow. He is taking this incredibly seriously, absolutely wants to make sure at least one finishes. I'm sure this one will get canceled here. Eventually, we're actually going to get a forward pylon here from Tim. Is this one going to... Yeah, this one's going to get canceled, but at least one of these, probably 2 of these are going to get up. And now the only thing he has to worry about is Zealots getting the main. But wow, pretty good initial surround here from 0. Those Zealots getting trapped off, and it looks like they are going to die fairly quickly. Sunken is up, and this is looking pretty held for 0. However, the question is, where do both players want to take this? Oh, 0 is actually going to go around with Lings now with these 2 sunken colonies up. And I don't know if Tim is aware of this. He might not even know about this path because these Lings are just going to run now. And they're going to... Oh, he's not making Zealots. They're going to have a free shot on the pylon. We'll see if he goes for the pylon or if he just goes straight for the main. He's going to go for the pylon, and Tim is probably thinking, oh... because, well, he just started Zealots. So that is it on Tim's units, and now it is going to be the one option that he has. He's going to try to break the ramp. Drone's being pulled into drill. The Sunken is actually slightly out of range, although this one Zealot is going full dirt mode, and it looks like that might give 0 enough to hold on, and that is it for production, and Tim says GG 0, sneaking those Lings around to take a quick win. Which will take us into game number 2 on Neo Requiem. Alright, so spawning at the 3 o'clock position as the green Protoss, we have IRK's Tim. And at the 6 o'clock position as the teal Zerg, we have 0. Yeah, I don't think anybody really knows the final maps. Like, the only way you know them is if you've gone back and, like, rewatched some of the old, like, OSLs and stuff. So the map is clearly a religious map. We have a cross in the middle. And let's take a look at what we're seeing here. So it looks like we have a low ground natural, or low ground main, which has actually become trendy again of late. And then we have an expansion out here. It's very, very open. I honestly, I can't really picture you being able to do an effective wall. And then, let's see. When you mine out, can you just go back here? No, you can't just go back here. But when you mine out, you get access to back here. Are there ramps to get... You can also ramp access to a mineral-only base back here. And that is the basic setup of the 3 bases on the map, right? We got that one. Oh, and then there's one down here. How do you get to this one? Through here? Is this island desk? Oh, this is like island. So like, yeah, this is sort of like island off. This portion is its own little contained island that I'm dragging my cursor around. But so far we're gonna have a tech opening here for 0. and an overpool from our tech opening from tech opening from Tim, and overpool from Zero. So the gateway is up here for Tim. And in comes the Overlord. He's like, hello, I found you. I found you. Someone has found the religious cross in the center. It's a pretty low mineral cross, except for like right at the center. Spawning pool just about done. Also, Tim, you only uploaded a few of the games. Like, there should be more, because this series is a best of 5. Or did you guys not realize it was a best of 5 and only play less than 5 games? I'm not actually sure. But there are definitely, like, missing reps. Cybercore on the way. One Zealot on the ramp. He needs a second Zealot pretty badly, though. Let's see how long he can keep his probe alive. Trying to move around, but unable to do so. Alright, now where's Zero going? Oh, he's making another pair of lings. Ooh, okay, Tim's gonna need some good reactions and some good control with his probes, or else this is gonna go not so great for him. How quickly is he gonna react? He does have that Zealot on the ramp, but here come a bunch of lings. Oh man, he's getting surrounded almost at the start. Trying to block, trying to get a probe there. Actually, some better hits than I expected. Decent micro so far with the Zealot picking off those lings from Zero. He's doing his best to defend, but remember, he's got a Dragoon coming, and maybe he's going to be alright. He does get the Dragoon out, and he will repel the lings for the moment. However, Zero is going to opt for his ling speed here. And against a tech build, that can be dangerous, but Zealot's on the way. If Tim secures his ramp, it won't be too bad for him. He's getting a robo facility, so it looks like we want to see Reavers, and a third hatch being thrown down here for Zero at the natural. Did that Zealot get picked off? Maybe, but now, oh no, that is that Zealot. Alright, so now we got a bunch of Zealots out. And we've got lings waiting at home from Zero. Pretty heavy lings coming up. And unfortunately, the problem that Tim has is that there are still these 2 lings running, but he does have his ramp secured. Now, does he have enough Zealots to deal with this? Oh, he needs to be careful about how his Zealots are fighting right now. They're not fighting the way he wants, kind of walking into the lings. Not the best initial shots. How close is he to having more? He's actually trying to go into goons, which might cost him against this pure flood of lings, especially as this one goon gets picked off. It's looking very dangerous right now for Tim. He's got 1 Zealot still alive, 2 more Dragoons popping, but a bunch of lings flooding in right now from Zero, who seems quite committed to this. Just trying to make it work. He's pinned this Dragoon right against the Robo, and this Zealot is about to go down. Tim is not getting the micro he needs. There's no Probus Bolt. He's losing all of his units, and I think he is looking to go down 2-0 in this series. Yeah, if there are more games, please send me them, because so far I only have a few of them. Now he has popped out a few more Zealots. He's trying to hold on, although that is so many lings right now from Zero. Good positioning here, though. I like using the little spaces, but now he moves out in the open, and 1 Zealot gets surrounded, and the other Zealot is almost surrounded and picked off. Probe's starting to go down. He's still alive. He's still holding on to his economy. He's trying to get this Reaver out, but more lings are flooding in right now, and now there are starting to be too many probes going down. He's down to just 7 or 8 probes. More are dying. 2 Zealots coming over, trying to fight, and all Tim can do is say, lol, GG, as Zero takes a quick ling all-in game. Alright, and the rest of the games have been sent via Discord, so we're going to grab those. SemiFinals. All right. So going into game 3 on, I'm assuming that's Namya, or is it Namja? Namja Ayagi? Honestly, I have no idea what that means or anything of that nature, but spawning in the top right-hand position, one game away from closing out the series, we have Zero. And in the bottom position as the yellow Protoss, we have Tim. So let's take a look at this map here. We have a little mineral only that you can shuttle up onto. It looks to be divided. And then again, a very large main. That seemed to be popular during this era. This actually looks wallable. Wait, or does it have multiple entrances? Oh man. Okay. So it has 2 entrances. That is a bit terrifying. We have a ramp there, and a ramp there that leads to this, kind of the central area of the map. Is this entirely island? Yes, so there's island bases at the 2 corners. Then we have this area, which has 2 entrances. And this entrance leads over here, so the center comes down here, but you can also come in directly from the center. So again, a pretty scary map for large numbers of lings and such things. Definitely the kind of map that if Protoss expanded fast would be pretty powerful with lings. So we'll see how Tim wants to play this. Sending the probe out immediately. Of course, he's not going to find him on the first try. In fact, I think he's actually at the wrong base. And a spawning pool on the way here for Zero. Tim is going to get a forge. Okay, he's going to try to wall at his own ramp. That's actually not the worst of ideas. The trickiest part is just going to be good cannon coverage of the natural. There could be some pretty abusive stuff going on from Zerg. Like, he can definitely defend his ramp and make sure he doesn't get, like, totally screwed. But it'll be interesting to see, like, maybe if he puts the cannons there, but then the cannons are kind of exposed. I'm very interested to see what he does with his cannon position. Really, I don't think this is the most wallable of maps. But obviously, you know, you can tell that's what he wants to do. And Zero has opted for what looks to be... okay. What looks to be kind of 9-pool overpullish. I was more worried about the map and not the timing of the pool, but he has gotten that fast gas, and I think we're going to see a ling speed here from him. Are we? Are we? Let's see. Yeah, okay, we're going to get ling speed. So, Tim getting up a cannon. And a second cannon. Alright, so he's defending most of this, but does he know that there are 2 paths? And where is he going to put his gateway? I don't know yet. So far, no gateway. But opting for 2 quick cannons. Lings on the way here from Zero. Usually we'll make about 12 lings when you do this. Judging by the fact that he has expansion, I have a feeling it was like overpool with speed. And he's going to put a gateway, I think, up here. Although if he does, that gateway will definitely have to be killed off later. Maybe he's going to put it down here? Okay, he's going to put it down here. That's interesting. Alright. But it leaves these cannons very exposed to lings coming in from the top. Zero has not found him yet, though. So that is giving him a little bit of time. Nexus is up. This is... It's called... what do you call it? Like, turning through time. It's basically... we started on present-day maps, and then we moved to 2012's maps, 2008's maps, 2008's maps, 2004's maps, and the finals will be on 2000's map. So just moving backwards through Brood War history at old OSL maps. Alright, here we go. It's a bunch of lings running in, and oh no, he is into the main with 5 speedlings. Tim is not happy right now. This is very stressful. Alright, already we're getting a few kills. Does he even have a zealot out anywhere? It does not look like it, so oh my gosh, these lings. He's got to pull all the probes. This is going to do plenty of damage here from Zero. I mean, he needs some, but alright, let's see how the reactions are. Tim trying to consolidate, and the problem is with this number of lings, 1 zealot is very surroundable. Like, 5 lings are not a threat, and indeed 5 lings are enough to attack the Nexus, draw probes out, He's trying to get a good drill. Can he capture any of the lings without losing too many probes? He's losing a few, but he does get a decent drill now, and he has picked off a few of them, softened them up, but some damage has already been dealt to these zealots. And let's see, he tries to get one on the gas, can't get it, so defense okay from Tim. But now the lings swing around the other side, trying to find a probe, can't get it. This poor guy in the back, oh. Another kill goes down. Zero definitely into this game. We can see Zero is expanding to a third base, and he gets another probe kill. It's just so hard to deal with this. Any second of inattentiveness just hurts so bad. Okay, reduces the lings. Now it's down to just one Zergling. He's got this one zealot here, really wants to protect his gas mining. What are we seeing here? We've got the layer coming down here from Zero. The final ling is dead, but damage has definitely been done to the economy of Tim. Alright, so we have 5 here. Alright. And Zero has not the strongest economy, but he is going to transition into 4-hatch Hydra. Also getting layers, so possibly we'll see lurkers, which would actually be really scary because this is like a reverse ramp map. Now he could go around, but lurkers on the top of this would be truly unbreakable. And it looks like we're going to get 2 gateways as well as a citadel, and getting a pylon up. Making a few more lings and getting that 5th hatchery. Layer's done. Now, where are we going? Okay, so he's going to get just standard Hydra ups. And it looks like we have 4 zealots moving out, but how many lings on the map? For Zero, there's like 7 or 8 with speed. Now, he can't quite engage that with 4, but all he's got to do is make a few more. Has he seen these guys? I don't know. We're actually going to have a bit of a counter situation. He really needs a zealot to be out and on the ramp, though. And let's see what happens here. Tim walking into the undefended base of Zero. Lings run in here trying to pick off some probes. Yeah, the cannon coverage was definitely going to be a concern. He's got to be careful with this zealot. And now he's gotten a single drone kill so far. He's going to see some Hydra popping out. We'll pick off 1 Hydra, so that's a nice little pick off there. And then it looks like he's going to move back out. That's actually not a bad decision. I like this awareness from Tim, not overstaying his welcome, but oh no! Oh no! The Zealots were on move command, and oh, but he turns around and does a pretty good job. Gets most of those lings, picks them off. He's seen the Hydra now. He knows that speed is coming. He's going to probably need to add cannons, but he does. Actually, he might not need to. This could be decent here from Tim, as he's going to have his leg speed, and it's only a group of Hydra right now from Zero against 8 slots. They're going to have leg speed with a few more on the way. He's getting a few pylons, trying to stay on top of those supply blocks, and now we've got an engagement going down in the middle. He needs to collect these Zealots together, though, and get his Ling speed to finish. All right, Ling's trickling in. We're going to have a big fight in the middle. Zealots move on top of the Hydra, trying to pick them off. And are there enough? Hydra are going in for the surround. The numbers of Zealots are dwindling, but so are the number of Hydra. And for the moment, it looks like it's enough from Tim to repel Zero. However, there are reinforcements streaming down, and Tim might need to move back. Wow, that's a huge round of drones that just are not going to where they need to be going. And there we go. Tim will turn around. He's got his archives on the way. He is getting some Templar, but he's not that close to Storm. Now, he did see drones, so that might indicate to him that Zero is not intending to keep massing. But if Zero keeps massing Hydra, there's going to be at least a little bit of a window, I think, before Storm is in. Maybe not. That Templar's pretty close. This is almost done. It's gonna be a small window if there is one. Keeping his gates running. He's getting a robo up pretty quickly. Worried about that lurker possibility. Adding a few more gates. And now here comes the continued attack from Zero. Templar almost ready to go, but not quite ready to go. Now, if he gets the Templar snipe, I'm worried for him, especially given the position of his cannons. The Nexus is very vulnerable to getting attacked. And oh, the Templar is so exposed. And it's an immediate snipe from Zero. That is a great start for Zero. And uh-oh, I think Tim is trying to force too much now. Hydra up a ramp like that are going to be the problem. And now this is the concern right here. Is, yeah, Zero's going to realize he can just go back over here. And without that Storm, he doesn't have any way to deal with this. He's forced to fight up the ramp. Now, can the Zealots possibly melt a few of these Hydra and buy some times for some storms? I don't know, but it doesn't look promising. I don't see really any storms coming out. He does have a DT coming out, but those Overlords are pretty close, and he's losing a lot of probes, being forced to evacuate the natural. And yeah, I think he just missed his unit timing. You really would have to, it's obviously a difficult map for Protoss in general, but it would really be the kind of map where you'd have to have just very heavily massed units. You can't finesse it with like walls in SimCity. There's just too much space here. And now there are some DTs, but that Overlord is going to be pulled back. Now, how long can the DTs hold this for? Will the Hydra try to walk up into the main? No, they're just going to pull back to the safety of the Overlord. We've still got a few Hydra over here attacking the gas and the Nexus. And let's see, everything is collected now. The Overlord is there. This might be the last round of units from Tim. He's got one more Templar out, but he's lost his natural, which means he's playing against a 5-base 0. These Templar coming out, they have no storms. And these Hydra up the ramp, everything clumping together, and the last Protoss units dying, trying to morph an Archon, trying to stay on top of that production, but it's so hard to fight. And another Templar assassination, a good one from Zero. He's actually going to target down the Archon. He gets that, and now there's really not much left for Tim, and I don't think there's a whole lot he can do, especially with a whole nother group of Hydra. Tim says, how did anyone ever play these maps? GG. And Zero takes that series. Yeah, it would be interesting to see Bond play these. I was hoping he would sign up, but it was not to be. He's got a pretty good kind of one basey style, and I think he would do pretty good, all things considered. All right, so now we have our next semifinals. And this is between True Touch and I forget who. But spawning in the top position as the Orange Terran, we have Terror. Okay, so we have True Touch against Terror, and spawning in the top right-hand position as the Yellow Zerg, we have True Touch. Oh, Bont is getting married? I don't know. That would definitely explain why he wouldn't be playing if that is the case. Alright, so some drones on the way, as you would expect. Overlord heads out to the wrong base. And a few more drones. Let's see here. We're gonna get an Overlord, we're gonna 9-pull. What are we gonna do here? Looks like we're gonna get that Overlord up, and a supply depot here from Terror. I'm just sad I can't go to the Russian land. That would be so much fun. Like, seriously, so much fun. So, supply depot done. And barracks goes down for Terror, as well as a scout. And let's see, we're going to have 12 hatch here from True Touch. Of the maps, I think of the 3 we saw so far, I feel like this is the one that looked the most standard-ish. True Touch has found his non-gas expansion. That would be so annoying as Zerg. Like, you can't, like, I don't even know, honestly, to not have a gas base like that, I feel like is a pretty big disadvantage for Zerg. I'm surprised True Touch put the hatchery there. Like, would it not make more sense for the hatchery to be here? Or is it just really not possible to place it there? I honestly don't know the answer. Pool on the way. Oh, and we're gonna have 2 racks here from Terror. Drone doing some harass on that SCV. Actually, it's doing a lot of harass on that SCV. Looks like we're going to bring out a second SCV. Oh, it's going to get a little bit dicey here. Alright, he pulls that one just in time. And now the Marine is out. We'll chase that drone away. Hello, Demurity. Hello, hello, hello. And Marine out out at the ramp. So just interesting. So 2 racks for safety, but then directly into expansion. And True Touch getting up his 3 hatches, but notice there's no gas here. So yeah, True Touch is definitely going to have to adapt what he wants to do. He's either going to have to just ling all in with 3 hatches, or probably go lurkers. I'm assuming you can't effectively go muta with 1 gas. I feel like just having like a muta timing and popping 4 mutas and being like whoop-de-doo would be not worth it. Whereas a couple lurkers can still have value added into whatever you're making. So True Touch popping a few more lings for sure. Gonna try to chase that SCD out. Can't do it yet. Still making some drones. Alright, so he's gonna get speed first, which Terror will notice because, well, he's not gonna see Lair. See if he circles around one more time, if he's got the SCV clicked. Oh, it doesn't quite get it, but he did see there was no Lair. So he should be aware that there's gonna be a decent ling mass, and indeed we have a bunker going down. So the biggest difficulty for Terra now is going to be dealing with the general degree of open space in this area. Like, he's got this bunker, but I mean, True Touch sends in 2 groups of lings that just run straight into the main. You know, it's going to be a little bit interesting for Terra, and we'll see if he's able to handle dealing with that space. Right now he's set up okay for that. You know, he's got some Marines back here. He has a few more coming. He's starting his academy. True Touch does have his lair going, but his speed is getting pretty close to done. Actually, he's opting for a creep colony. Interesting. So maybe True Touch is not going to go as heavy on the links as I thought he was. He's just going to get his link speed out. Like, the fact that he got link speed first made me think he really wanted to go heavy on the links, but I don't know. He's mostly droning. He's putting down a creep colony. Those aren't things you're doing if you're planning to mass ling at your opponent. Alright, so he is indeed going to make lurkers. I was going to say, I would be really surprised if he was going to try to do meta off of this. And here come the Zerglings up and over. And yeah, this is interesting. I like this. I kind of like this positioning here from Terror. Moves straight back to the ramp. Very well prepared for this and absolutely slaughters True Touch's lings. Well, that one took a while to die. But yeah, alright, that was well handled so far by Terror. Basically, True Touch was like, there's something here, and baited him in, and then he was pretty well prepared at the ramp. Oh, wow, smart. Terror separating out his injured Marines, and now he should just pull back to the ramp. There we go, pulling back to the ramp. Meds are out. True Touch again trying with the lings. Oh, the meds are a bit out of position, though. There we go. Now he's got the medics walling much better at the top, but some lings do get in, but I think... Oh, actually, it's kind of close, and unfortunately, the SCV's sort of blocking the meds from the top of the ramp, but now the fire bats are out, and True Touch is indeed trying to stream in a few more lings. He's actually pretty committed to lings right now. It looks like, yeah, lings being spammed from all bases, so we'll see how well Terror can handle this. Obviously a tricky thing to handle when lings are going everywhere, and ooh, that would not be a building you want to die at Academy. And of course, at some point there will be some lurkers out with this as well, but there are some fire bats in the mix right now to help deal with these Zerglings. Now, keep in mind, we're a long ways away from upgrades, or at least a little ways away. Like, I know there's not Marine range. I think he's obviously got stim, because we hear things stimming. But I don't think he's got U-238 yet. And now something's going in for the bunker. Is he there for the repair? It's going to be tight. No, the bunker will... Oh, it will fall. Oh, okay, now this is getting a little bit more dangerous for Terry. He's lost that bunker at the front. So close to the repair. He'll probably immediately restart that bunker. Yes, he does. But now he does have some fire bats out. He's got position to the lower part of the ramp. There we go. U-238 is started. And our lurkers on the way. True Touch's actually opting to morph that colony. Are there? Oh, there are lurks. Okay, so there is at least a single lurk on the way. And now Terror moving out onto the map. Got, what, 4 Marines coming out. U-238. And True Touch putting up a sunken colony. Going to send a small backstab of lings around. Bunker is garrisoned. But of course, there is the possibility still here to go back up the ramp. Will he take advantage of that? Yeah, he goes for it, but the fire bats on the ramp should defend this pretty comfortably. Oh, but actually there's 2 lurkers here. And yeah, that's going to prompt a turning around here from Terror. He's going to need to get some more Marines over there so we can surround this. And actually, this is getting pretty scary. There's a lot of lurkers on the map. How many scans do we have? Yikes. Yikes, there's scans, but not many turrets, and no factory either. Alright, so there's the first scan. He's going to go for it. Let's see how the splitting is. A couple lings in there. He does alright, but he loses a few. And now the concern is keeping scans around for these rest of these lurkers here from True Touch, who has managed to get out a decent number. And of course, Terror does not want to get contained on this map, but it's going to be very tricky for Terror because True Touch has lots of ways he can be aggressive on him. And oh, he's already got a burrow of the lurkers there. It looks like he has many of the major paths here from Terror shut down and kind of outmaneuvering Terror at the moment. Factory on the way. True Touch not going for hive. We see the bunker being ungarrisoned. And is True Touch going to go up here? It looks like he wants to go up here. And oh, that's definitely going to force Terror back away from here. He can't fight these lurkers in this corridor, that's for sure. Oh, actually, wait. Never mind. They weren't burrowed together. He actually was able to pick that one off. They need to be together. If they're together, they're almost unassailable. But as they are now, they can definitely be attacked. Keeping a firebat station in the main, going quickly to his starport. And True Touch definitely looks like he wants to play this very low eco, very aggressive, basically just trying to find a bus point and break Terror. Alright, lurker coming forward now in range of the depot. We've got a second bunker here at the bottom of that ramp. He really needs those vessels, though, because right now he's just buying time on his scans. He's got about 3 scans, which ain't bad. It's probably worth it to burn a scan for that one. Yeah, he's going to get at least one of these lurkers to go back, and he does keep them out of range of any of his important structures. But he is very much blocked in here. And there's no hive from True Touch. The gas from one base is just not really allowable for hive. He's got this pretty blocked off. And now it's just a matter of dealing with all of these lings that are going to try to run across. These guys need medics with them. This is kind of scary. Like, these lings just can almost brute force this. And now he's bringing up a few more of the lurkers, continuing to just flood lings. Lots of units out right now from True Touch, although his economy is really bad. Oh, his comsat, I didn't even realize the scanner was in lurker range. Oh, that's rough. He really needs that scanner. And now some lings are flooding in from True Touch, but there is a group over here. A scan goes down. Honestly, Terror's handling this pretty well so far until those lurker spines, which were ridiculously fantastic. But he's got a tank in range now of his bridge. And as long as he's got scans that he can burn to throw down on these lurkers. Does he have any more scans, though? Yeah, he's got 2 more here. There's another scan going down. That is going to force these lurkers back. He's going to pick off one. Good defense so far from Terror against a very scary number of units and position of units from True Touch. He's probably unhappy that he lost that large group of Marines. But, I mean, Terror is slowly amassing a decent force, and he's close to vessels now. But True Touch looks like he's getting ready to go in for a large pincer attack, sort of from both sides here. And the tanks are nice. The downside is there are not a whole lot of Marines, but these bunkers are still up. They are still functional. And there is no hive. So if Terror can get up the units he needs, he may be able to move out on the map and cause some trouble. But numbers are going to be the biggest challenge here for Terror. I mean, let's face it, True Touch just still has a lot of shit, and Terror does not have a lot of shit. Like, if Terror is out of position, this could still do a lot of damage, and True Touch runs in here, and he's moving back, but everything is funneling across the bridges, which actually should be a decent setup here from Terror. Ling's trying to get something done. They can't do so, and True Touch says, GG. Terror takes game number 1. A very nice defense from Terror there to hold on. And True Touch is just like, nope, I'm out of stuff. I can't do it. So we go into game 2 on Neo Requiem. Alright, so spawning at the 3 o'clock position as our white-ish Zerg, we have True Touch. And in the bottom position at the 6 o'clock base as the Red Terran up 1 game, we have Terror. We looked at this map before, but we can take a look at it again. As you guys know, this is a low ground base. Opens into this, which is, it's not as open as last map, but it's kind of awkward because like this natural sort of tucked away. So you can't really wall it off as Protoss, but like if you put a bunker here, your natural is going to be pretty safe. You can probably like bunker a wall. There's probably some pretty good ways you can get sort of a normal, comfortable setup out here. And then this back here is walled off with minerals and is basically an island. So it's like you either mine this out and then you can have these two bases, or you get dropship, overlord, transport, whatever, and you can put stuff back there into either this base or this base. As there's a ramp connecting the two of them somewhere. And then, yeah. That's the main setup for all of these bases. And this base, is this an island? No, this has a ramp that you can get into the base over here and the base over here. So that's Requiem at a glance. Oh, and you could glitch workers too. Yeah, I'm sure there you could do that. All right, so TrueTouch wants to open with Hatch, and he will. Yeah, there'd be nothing that would stop you from playing this kind of outsidery and glitching over that way. You can see this is a pretty far mining distance, but hey, gotta get your gas, gotta do what you gotta do. So it's a very tucked away natural, but it's like, it's almost like the natural is like just not on the path to the main. You know, it's just sort of like exterior to the main. Alright, so TrueTouch has been turned away by a drone from Terror. Oh, we're gonna have a bunker rush on the hatchery. All right, here we go. We've got a major SCV pull here. Oh, that is some very nice blocking for those Marines, though. Wow, that is a good position here for Terror. The bunker is under attack, but wow, these Marines are very heavily protected. This looks like a good start for Terror, and TrueTouch is actually just gonna try to go across the map and pick off some of those Marines and prevent any other from reaching. But hey, let's face it, this bunker is 100% gonna finish, and it's gonna be garrisoned, and TrueTouch is gonna lose his hatchery. So now it's a question of how much gets done with the drone counter, and can TrueTouch just beeline drones or beeline lings across the map and do damage to Terror that way? He's just going to try to take it all the way. We've seen this happen once or twice in a pro game. Can TrueTouch make it work? He's going to try to camp the barracks. Almost all of Terror's SCVs now pulled. He's only got 4 or 5 mining. And now here go the lings from TrueTouch, and they do make it out on the map. Dangerous situation for Terror. The base is dead for TrueTouch, but there are a lot of lings on the map. But a bunker is going down. Can he get this Marine? He does get it, but there's another one out. And remember, TrueTouch has very, very few drones, because of course he has sent plenty of his drones. And it looks like Terror's going to get his bunker up, and he lives. He lives. This ought to be an excellent position for Terror. He's going to have to float the barracks. That's going to cost a little bit of production time. Whoa, these SCVs like should probably just go home, because they're going to die any other way. Maybe they can stay at the bunker and just do repair, but yeah, it looks like he's just going to go home. And TrueTouch is badly, badly hurt. Oh, actually, wait. Lings have found a couple spots they can get into, so this is not as over as I thought it was. And these SCVs probably shouldn't be fighting here. Need to be careful. He's going to lose another depot, though, which is not ideal. And, of course, TrueTouch is going to finish off the bunker on top of the ramp. And it looks like these lings are going to finally get cleaned up. Just about. Terror not making a Marine out of this barracks, interestingly enough. And TrueTouch unable to get that last Marine. So now this is finally dealt with here. And TrueTouch is going back into drones. So we've got 7 drones. Definitely a better economy for Terror. No surprises. And more lings from TrueTouch pivoting down to the low side here. And they immediately get a cancel on that depot. And now running into the mineral line. looking for a few more SCV kills as True Touch tries to get himself back into this game. Only 1 or 2 Marines in the bunker. Oh, and wow, all of a sudden a bunch of Lings just die. And I think that's going to be it for how much True Touch can get here at the bottom part of the base. Terror very focused on his tech, not really making a whole lot of Marines. True Touch re-expanding to his natural, has his gas mining going, and is continuing to flood Lings. So I think True Touch wants to continue with the aggression. We're going to see a second factory coming down here from Terror. And indeed it is going to be Ling speed from True Touch, and it's going to be pretty dedicated Lings too. True Touch definitely is just going to go for, just going to try to Ling him. Just going to try to Ling him for now. Got 3 in the bunker. Nice tight defensive position there. Pretty hard to get a good surround on that bunker. Hatch is up here. Oh, he's going to put down a 3rd hatch? Well, that's fine. You can do that if you're just going for Lings. That's the thing. It works. Getting fairly close to speed. And, oh, this is risky for Terror. Oh my god. This is risky. Because, I mean, True Touch is Linging. True Touch is bringing the Lings. And Terror doesn't know it. This is going to be bad for Terror. And oh, Lings from the other side to get the immediate surround. All the Marines of Terror just instantly melt. He does still have the bunker. Oh, he's only got a fire bat in that bunker. Just 1 fire bat. Is True Touch going to be able to flip this game on his head? He goes immediately for the Academy. That is a pretty sensible target in all honesty, and he's definitely going to get it. SCVs can't even get in there to repair. Fire bats spawn, but he's not going to be able to save the Academy. Say goodbye to Sim. No more medics. Wow, there's 1 fire bat somewhere in here that's doing a ton of damage, but wow, a lot of SCVs dying, and it's just a single fire bat in that bunker, but holy shit, that fire bat is doing some freaking work. My god. It is actually going to hold off all of these Lings. MVP Firebat of the year, but he does not have an Academy. He can't make any more Firebats. He can't make medics. He has just this bunker to defend with. So he's definitely going to lose a couple depots. Marines trying to fight. Oh, he did get stim though. That's nice. So he's going to run back to the bunker, I assume. To the untouchable bunker of Firebat Heaven, and wow, really nice defenses so far from Terror. I mean, it was unfortunate that he misjudged what True Touch was doing and was out on the map, but given everything else, he's doing a good job here. And remember, True Touch has Jack economy behind this. If wait, where did he rebuild his Academy? What the how did he get that medic out? What? I'm so confused. Oh, he immediately garrisons the medic. True Touch looking for pickoffs where he can get it. Medic pops back out, trying to keep that medic alive, but that Marine goes down. And is he going to finally get this depot down here? And he continues to try to repair it. He's defending like a demon, but True Touch is just pouring in all these Lings. And now True Touch goes in for the mineral line again, but this time the bunker is a little more in range of the mineral line, which means the Lings are not going to be that efficient to attack. And True Touch again wants the Academy, and he again gets the Academy. Terror just cannot seem to get that poor Academy up, but he did get some queuing in while he had the opportunity, and True Touch again with a few more surround on those Marines, and now he's going to attack the barracks, and this barracks is actually not protected, and yeah, there we go. Now Terror decides on a different location for the Academy, which is probably a better Academy location. A few Firebats pop, that might actually be enough to hold on to these barracks if Terror can keep these Firebats bunched up, which is what he's trying to do right now, and there we go, bunched up Firebats are just Ling incinerators. Hero Firebats doing work right now for Terror, but 1 does get picked off. No med to heal. Actually, there is a medic, but it's been forgotten. And wow, is Terror maybe possibly going to be able to stabilize this? True Touch is resuming gas mining. But I don't think True Touch can get enough Lings now to actually bust in here. Oh, trying to get the surround on the Firebat, can't get it. Does get a single Marine again. Is going to get the medic. That's a nice catch because, well, there's still 1 medic alive, but again, he doesn't know about that medic. Nice little use of the gap there, plugging the gap with the Marine. Ling's coming back, finding a couple places in which they can hit SCVs. I mean, there's no doubt that True Touch is continuing to still be very, very annoying. He kills another depot, which has Terror almost at supply block levels, and he is continuing to get SCVs. Ling's still around back, and it looks like finally True Touch has opted to get a few drones out. And the question is, has he done enough with these Lings to get himself back into this game? And I'm thinking maybe he has. I mean, he killed the Academy over and over. Alright, these Lings are going to die in vain. But that's finally it on Lings. He's getting a creep up. He's got his lair on the way. Making just pure drones. Like, his economy is good now, and Terror's is not that good. And, you know, he's got his reasonable tech. I actually think True Touch may have moved himself back into an okay position. He will potentially have to survive a little push from 2 racks. But outside of that, he's in an okay position now. Those Lings did do enough damage. I mean, it was a nice defense from Terror, given that he started from a bad position. But honestly, just imagine if Terror wouldn't have started from getting 7 Marines instantly surrounded and just evaporating. And alright, so Terror now is going to go low ground CC and pushing out here with this group of Marines and Medics. Spire about halfway done. This map is called Neo Requiem. And here comes the small group. Alright, we got 4 Sunkens. That should be enough. Should be enough to hold. He's going to try to backstab. Oh, that's going to be obnoxious as sin. Is he going to leave the fire bats on the ramp? That's the important question. He's got to get them there. Ah, he stims. He sees it. But actually now they're just going to let the stim run out, and there's not a med behind them. So threatening in both places, and nope. Terror's not willing to try to charge into that. So the Spire is about to finish, and Muta about to come out for True Touch. Bam, so we have Muta on the way for True Touch. And we have 0. Oh, yikes. Oh, but that's a nice find there. The gas is exposed. The Sunkens are not covering the gas. So Terror is going to deny that gas. Scan goes down, and if he sees the Spire, he's probably a little bit worried right now. Because he doesn't have a lot at home. Yeah, he's immediately got to head home. And he doesn't have anything turret-y. So, yeah, no turrets against Muta is not exactly optimal. And now the Muta arriving at the back of the base, and Terror's on the map fighting things, so Terror's SCV line here is going to get just absolutely wrecked. I mean, I don't know. Terror's got to bust True Touch. That's everything. He's going to give it everything, too, I think, to bust. All right, here we go. What can Terror get done? He's got to bust. He stims the fire bats. He charges forward right on top of them. He's on top of the first colony, but the Muta are back to defend. Will it be enough? I'm thinking it almost certainly will. A whole bunch of Lings. True Touch returns and cleans up Terror and gets the GG. True Touch playing himself back into the game with the infinity annoying Lings. Yeah, that's the whole theme of this tour, is like we're going back in time. So like we started at present day maps, and then it was 2012 maps, and then it was 28 maps, 2008, and then 2004, and then the finals will be on 2000 maps. So now we go into game 3 on Namya Iyagi. Spawning in the top right-hand position as the purple Zerg, we have minus True Touch. And in the bottom left-hand position as the green Terran, we have Terror. The semifinals tied up 1-1. How old am I? I am 29, sadly. Yikes. 1 year away from being absolutely old as fuck. Few drones on the way. Few drones? I mean, a single drone. Okay, now I can say we have a few drones on the way. More than 2. More than 2. Yeah, I need to go back in time with my aging and just stay at like 24, 25. That'd be perfect. Perfect spot to stay. Alright, we got Overlord from True Touch. Depot looks pretty normal. This map definitely gets even weirder as we get into weird things. So this one has an opening here and an opening here. So it has double entrances, and this opens up to the main pod this way, and you can also swing around and open up to the main pod this way. So we have multiple pathways. So barracks on the way. Is that true? Let's see. Or is it just lying to me that I disconnected from chat? It might actually not be lying to me. Well, we got 12 hatch down from True Touch. This map does have gas, though, with the natural, unlike one of our previous maps. Let's see, where's chat and shit? I'm trying to multitask here. Alright, now I've got the chat back up. Alright, so True Touch getting up his gas and pool, so a fairly fast gas build. And we can actually go ahead and do that. Man, these teal colors with minerals and the little doodads and the blue in the background are just, they're freaking me out, man. I would be stressed if my opponent was this color. Fortunately, you can set your own color to red. Alright, so spawning pool is down. Oh, that spawning pool actually seems to help perhaps slightly the gas efficiency. And we have the barracks down, and of course the command center. And this is a bold move from Terror, opting for the quick expansion here, because remember, there are two pathways, two entrances into the natural. So it's going to be about, I mean, I guess a good bunker here with preparation for the ramp will probably keep you fairly safe, maybe even adding a few buildings in to further do it. The name of this map, it's like Namja Iyagi or something. Namja, N-A-M-J-A, Iyagi, E-Y-A-G-I, or something like that. Alright, and we have, what, got 6 lings headed out here from True Touch. And a very fast lair, so it looks like we're going to see some 2-hatch Muta, or 2-hatch something. Could be 2-hatch Lurk. 2-hatch Lurk would be really scary on a map. Can you imagine trying to defend 2-hatch Lurk? Actually, I didn't even think about that. Like, you could put a bunker here or here, but then lurkers would just burrow this way. Oh my gosh, like, 2-hatch Lurk suddenly seems ridiculously terrifying on this map. Because you'd have to, like, bunker at both sides. It'd be such a pain in the ass. You'd need, like, double bunkers. Alright, so we got our 2 racks up, getting an academy, playing it pretty standard. Now, is there a Hydra Den? Nope. Slings into aggressive Muta, True Touch style. True Touch definitely likes aggression, regardless of the situation. Goes in there, cannot get one, and oh, he knows that there's 2 entrances, so he has studied the maps at least a little bit, or remembers them and knows them. And great initial blocking, but the lings coming in from both sides, and down go some of the initial Marines. Are there Firebats coming? No, that is a shitload of Marines. Wow, let's see here how Terror can handle this. He leaves one Marine in the bunker, and initial Marines getting picked off. SCVs are being pulled off the line right now to defend against True Touch's aggression, but remember, there should be at some point a Spire coming on the way, and that's actually a pretty decent surround. True Touch is trying to pick off some SCVs. He's not getting a ton, but he is going to get some of these Marines now with these lings, but the ling count being reduced. Pretty good SCV pulling from Terror there to stay alive for the moment, and the Spire just now going down for True Touch, a little bit delayed, making all those lings, and does find a few hidden lings down here, so we'll get all of those cleaned up, and now he does have control of his main again up to a point. However, still the option to run in from both sides a la Transistor, but with an even less block natural. I know he's got Marines at the ramp, he's got a Firebat there. Is it enough? It looks like it will hold, although a few lings are going to find a gap to run by and continue to be obnoxious as hell for Terror. Going to have to manage lings in both locations. He's going to get a good pull. He'll Will he get that SCV? He'll get the Marine, maybe. Maybe not. Okay, we'll get the Marine. Does he have stim yet? He's got a medic out now. It's looking like Terror might actually stabilize here. Alright, that Ling is picked off. And now we have the E-Bay going up. The Spire is on the way, so he will be able to get turrets out in time. And some Lings from True Touch circling around towards the backside, and Terror is going to go take a quick look down here. Oh, that Marine is a bit out in front. Good reaction from Terror, though. Immediately pulls it back. No scanners yet. Stim just now being researched, so these Muta are going to have a really nice window. I mean, it's going to be quite a while before U-238 is there, so definitely Terror will need some turrets to hold on against this. Or else his Marines are just going to get slaughtered once that Muta count gets a little bit bigger. But we're going to actually have a little initial move out, which is surprising to me from Terror here. A few Lings coming in here, probably just looking for turrets and or a few idle SCV kills. No turrets yet, but this army is moving across, and I don't think True Touch knows about it, but he's gonna, well, now he knows about it for sure. And it's just really small, though. It's like 5 units, so these Muta should just run over it, and actually it looks like Terror is just gonna retreat back. And he's got initial turret up here, he's got an initial turret up there. Might need to get one more started, but he's going to keep these Marines occupied a little bit. Muta do find them now. And now True Touch on the hunt. Oh, but a secondary arrival. Is it enough? Let's see who gets the better of this fight here in the center. Definitely not the fight True Touch can afford to lose. He can always go around it up to a point. But I think he's just going to wait for a couple more Muta and kill it. There we go. Gets a nice pick off there. Another one. He's realizing there's no U-238 yet as far as I know. And there we go. Gets everything cleaned up. We'll have to watch this academy. There's always a slight chance that Terror was like trying to use the bunker to defend and like went for U-238 first, but that would be very atypical. And oh, actually, I didn't even realize this guy found his way in the main. Does torch 3 drones, so hey, that's definitely worth it for a Firebat, especially when your opponent's playing as low eco as True Touch is here with this 2H Muta. I mean, this is basically ZVZ level eco right here. He does have gas. I mean, it's a little bit better than ZVZ Eco, but only marginally. And now we've got more turrets going up, and it's looking like Terror's going to defend this fairly well. So here we go. Muta fly on in. Turret going. He gets 1 SCV. He gets 2. He gets a turret, or an SCV building a turret. He gets another one by the depots. Wow, these Muta 5, 6, racking up the kills right now. Micro from True Touch looking pretty sharp. Getting some good hits off on the depots. In the meantime, though, Terror moving out with a little bit of his army. He's going to lose another depot, so pretty solid supply blocks right now from Terror. At least one of them being rebuilt, but he needs to rebuild 2 of them if he's not already. Alright, so he's getting some depots being built in the natural. And he does have a group of Marine and Medic out on the map right now. And it looks like, in the meantime, True Touch has ecoed up just a bit. Not tremendously, but just a bit. A few more drones now at his natural base mining. And oh, almost True Touch flying over this group, but paying too good of attention to let anything like that happen. Got scanners out. We're going up to 4 barracks, and it looks like Terror's going to ignore these Muta for now and move out across the map. True Touch is going to keep going for those SCVs, and he has killed a boatload of Terror's SCVs, and these Lings on the map are doing a nice job here of spotting for these armies. And now True Touch is going to sunken up here. But remember, this base has 2 entrances. He could definitely come up from the ground probably and get a snipe off on the gas. But let's see if he's ready. His medic's sort of out of position there, but Muta's getting off a good shot, killing off 2 Marines. And True Touch actually having quite a few Muta left at home as well. And more drones coming out. True Touch now moving into the Econ game. And that turret goes down. Now, where are the Marines needed to defend right now? And Terra is sort of stuck between this. He wants to pressure, but he kind of feels like he has to stay and defend because there are still too many Muta out on the map. And man, Terra's SCV line is getting absolutely decimated. Picking off yet another Marine, and now camping the depots, but oh, he's eating a lot of damage right now. Whoa! Is this what he intended to do? I think that was a moment of inattention right there, as he just gave away a lot of his Muta. But, let's face it, Terra's economy is hurting now. True Touches might not be booming, but, you know, Terra's is definitely hurting. Running in here, gonna pick off the SCV building the starport. Anything to delay that vessel timing is definitely a good thing. No additional bases yet for True Touch. And the Muta circling around back here. And again, there's a nice juicy pocket of SCVs that True Touch can continue to feed on. Oh, he did not actually get an SCV back on the starport. And True Touch is going to opt to go for the turrets, trying to soften them up a bit. Comes back, gets one, moves in for the other. Nice Muta movements here. And these Muta are really doing a lot of work right now for True Touch. He's finding good Marines to pick off, getting off excellent shots. How many does he have left, though? He's down to just 8, and oh, a missed shot there for True Touch. Continuing to rally in Muta, so the Muta aggression for True Touch is definitely not over at this point. But Terror is doing his best to defend this. And we actually have double bunker at the front. Definitely worried about his front being bunkered. It's trying to keep those racks flashing. But the economy is hurt, and now he wants to get the turrets there at the bottom, so he's got a little space here at the bottom in which to micro. And of course, he's always got Muta coming back in to reinforce. And he continues to just pick off SCVs. Terror is just not getting the chance to grow, and he's not been able to get his vessel down. Wow, is he going to lose almost every single SCV at the natural? There we go. He's working on his add-on for his starport. Does he have his science facility going? I don't know, but these Muta are just going to town on the SCVs here at his natural. I think True Touch wants to get every single one. And True Touch, in the meantime, just expanding to that third base. His Muta are just cleaning up everything that Terror has right now. Getting an armory out. I guess he's going to go for Valks to deal with this for now because it's already done so much. And here come 4 Mutas trying to fly. Wait, no, that's the main flock. Never mind. Still looking for opportunities. Does find the SCV there. And oh, what an annoying position. The Marines have to come one by one. I did not even realize how obnoxious that was. But 2 great shots there from Terror, reducing the Muta count by 2. But he just picked off the medic. And now Terror in danger of losing quite a few of his Marines. That went well for True Touch there at the end, as he does pick off the rest of them. Now we have a Valkyrie out, dancing that Valkyrie around. Does not want to commit to shooting it. Now, has True Touch seen it? Is he going to pop any Scourge? I don't know. But he is getting his Queenness. Ah, and he has seen it. So he has popped a few Scourge in response to that. And whoa, okay, so trying to split the Muta up a little bit to go after that Valkyrie, and he gets it. And it looks like True Touch is giving Terror maybe just a little bit more than Terror can handle this game. Forced to pull SCVs over to the other side. But the Muta are just at the throats of these poor SCVs. Does stay to try to fight the Valkyrie, but takes a lot of damage from doing that. And now most of these Muta greatly softened up. And now he's just going to chase the Valkyrie. Valkyrie retreating back to the turrets. And the Muta again have free reign on the SCVs. Terror's forced to do yet another pull. Now Hive is on the way for True Touch. Another shot goes down for the Valkyrie. Really needs 2 or 3 Valkyries before he starts to feel somewhat safe. True Touch with a little bit of a misrally on a few of those drones. And now mining 4 from gas at that third base. Making sure to optimize that gas. And here we go. Muta again finding SCVs. The number of SCVs that have died this game is just... It's got to be like close to 50 now. True Touch unleashes the Scourge, but is unable to connect to their first target. But now they try again, and they will connect right away. But that second Valkyrie is still alive, getting off a few hits. More Muta are being flown in now. Where are we going with this Hive? So far, there's no clear answer. Muta dive back in, again picking off the SCVs. The natural just so sparsely populated. Finally forced to run away. Oh, but the Valkyrie is going a bit far away. Good hits from True Touch. We're going to see a Defiler mount? Is that where we're going? No, we're just going to go Crazy Zerg-esque straight into Ultra and try to overrun Mr. Terror. And also 6 Scourge coming in to assist this right now. Dropship is out for Terror. That could be problematic. That will probably shut down this base if it is not spotted. If it's spotted, it's going to be really bad. Somehow True Touch doesn't... Oh, no, but he does fly by, and absolutely True Touch is onto this. The Muta are headed over. The drones are already being run. So, yeah, this drop is not going to go well. And actually, Terra pauses for a moment. I think everything's going to have a chance to catch up. He's ready with the drones. That's all the time he's needed. The Scourge will finish that off, and that completely shut down True Touch. Dodging a bullet. Unfortunately, the Overlords weren't really on that edge pathing, but Terror didn't take the edge pathing, and that ended up giving True Touch the vision he needed there. And now we've got all our Ultra Spines on the way. We're getting another hatchery. And it looks like a small group still trying to sneak out now. Terror is just trying to get something out on the map to figure out what is going on. What can I possibly do? I've got to slow this guy down somehow. It looks like, oh, is Amita going to find this? Do they know about this? Yeah, they do about it now. Valkyrie needs to be retreated. Alright, there we go. Good target firing on the Scourge. But Valkyrie flies off on its own, and the Muta will get a chance to... Oh, wow! Terror saves it with just 8 HP. But look at this. Now we're going up to almost 5 bases, and there's Ultra on the map. What are the upgrades? 1-0. Okay, neither player have upgrades, so they're not going to be like super terrifying Ultra, but Carapace is coming for these Ultra, which means they're going to be quite a bit beefy. Still macroing away, no tanks, no vessel yet. We are going double starport and facility. Incredible how many minerals both players have left since the game has remained so low eco. And it looks like perhaps Terra has found a base, but like I said, there's these Ultra coming out on the map now, and more than just 1 or 2. So he will prevent prevent True Touch from going up all the way to 5 bases, but he's got to deal now with a major Ultra counter. He does have this bunker a little bit garrisoned. There are some Marines here, but there are no irradiates. There are nothing that would be particularly useful for dealing with moderate to large numbers of Ultralisks. So here we come. True Touch just charging in with these Ultralisks, trying to get through the bunker. Gets a surround on the second one. And is he about to break him here with these Ultra? I don't see many Marines. I don't really see... Well, let's see if this group can possibly fight him off, but there's no medic yet. And this Ultra is just busy being an Ultra, being beefy. Are there... Oh, there's actually no reinforcements, so perhaps... wow, that is an SCV block of the ages. It is definitely helping out Terror tremendously here as he traps his Ultra in a spinning vortex of doom. The Ultra just got too dizzy to even participate in the battle, but I think it's too late, honestly. Let's just take a look at these bases. He's doing his best, but he is just going to get absolutely pummeled by hatcheries and hatcheries worth of units, flanks from both sides. It's just this small group of Marines right now that's keeping them alive. Ling's running in, Ultra's running in. Hasn't broken him yet, but Terror knows what's coming and says, GG. True Touch takes a 2-1 lead. Honestly, I think those Mutas just killed too many SCVs. I mean, so many SCVs died. So now we go into Game 4 on Mercury 0. So spawning in the top position as the Blue Zerg, we have Minus's True Touch. And at the kind of middle right, top-ish right position at 2 o'clock, we have none other than Terror. And again, let's take a look at this map, Neo Mercury or something like that. All right, so that looks normal. This map almost looks normal. This is a little bit weird, but it is like a choked off natural. So that, but it has 2 entrances. So okay, it's not as normal as I thought. It does have 2 entrances into the natural. So very, again, very open. And then there's a third that has sort of 2 bridges, and it's an isolated third, no gas. And I think that's the setup for each base. I think that's all there is. Everything else is like a main. So you got your main here, it goes into your natural, and yeah, you got the third. So that's the setup. So just 12 mineable bases on this map. And True Touch immediately sending out an Overlord, as does Terror. And Depot goes down. Bracket is linked in, it's in the thread. It's at challenge, but the bracket had Tim versus Zero in the semifinals, and this is True Touch versus Terror Game 4, with True Touch leading 2-1, trying to close out the series and earn his ticket to the finals. Barracks up for Terror. And alright, we got a scouting drone as well as a hatchmaking drone. There we go, hatchery down. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's a good point too, why you wouldn't want to look at the bracket. You would indeed get your, what do you call it, spoiled. Game spoiled. Alright, and the spawning pool and the fast gas, so maybe another 2-hatch muta here from True Touch. But if you're looking for it, just look at the thread. It's called like Journey Through Time, Brood War Open or something like that on TL. And there's a link there to challenge if you really just want to see the bracket. And True Touch doing a little bit of drone harass, and this time Terror is going to opt for a more conservative opening. I guess he's had enough of True Touch making a bunch of lings and running around his bases. So he's going to go a bit more conservative. He's going to see the gas and the pool. See that it is quite a fast gas. And then he'll probably just watch to see if there is a lair. And know if he's dealing with a ling speed build again, or if he's going to deal with just a, you know, standard. Typical True Touch, typical True Touch, 2-hatch aggressive Zerg play. Okay, so lair starts, but not at the SCV's base. He knows the lair should be starting right about now, so he is going to go check the natural, and then he will know indeed what is going to happen. And actually, he should be able to even figure out if it's going to be Muta or Hydra. So he's like, okay, you morphed a lair, cool. Now, is he going to put down a Hydralisk down? A couple Marines are out and moving into that expansion. Getting the depot up. No, we don't see a Hydra Den yet. He's running out of his window to put the Hydra down for nice efficient lurkers, so I think we are going to see Mutalisks. And typical trademark aggressive True Touch style play. Yeah, a lot of these maps have smaller numbers of patches. Like look at this natural. It's like a six patch natural. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it is 8. Yeah. Smaller mains, smaller naturals, much more open maps. Very, very different era of Brood War for sure. Oh, that is CV is dead. All right, so True Touch has gotten out at least a control group of lings. Is he gonna make more? No, he's gonna make a few more drones. All right, so far it looks like True Touch is not gonna go lings into death. He's just gonna make some lings. Now remember, there is still a second path. Oh, actually, wow. Zoop. How annoying would that be? That would be the worst thing ever. You're feeling like, oh, I'm all good, and then all of a sudden lings just like shimmy straight up through there in. Okay, so True Touch already is aware of this. Yeah, True Touch has definitely looked at these maps, or definitely knows. Oh, he just maybe missed this bridge though. But he's done some looking. He's got an idea of what's going on here. He's trying to find where to go around. I don't think he knows that he just missed that bridge. In the meantime, he's double overloading, probably getting ready for his Mutalisks to finish up. We're getting stim down. Oh wow, what the hell? Is that a neutral depot? No, what the? Terra built a depot down there. I don't know what... Was that just dumb luck that True Touch found that? I honestly have no idea. Yeah, you can see True Touch is really looking for this. He's like, how do I get over here? He's like, I know it's possible. I looked at this map. I studied it a little bit and thought about what I could do. And a third hatch goes down for True Touch. And, oh, True Touch is not paying attention! But not quite the ideal shots here for Terra, as Terra moves out onto the map with this Stim Marine Medic combination. But there's a small group of Lings. Remember, it's over here. He's doing a little bit of splitting with these Lings. Is he going to just backstab? He picks off one that's trailing at the end. And the medics are kind of out by themselves. Marine's close enough to babysit. But if True Touch gets a quick enough trap, he could potentially pin those medics off. But now the Meta are out, and a large group of Marines, and it looks like a modest overextension here by Terra, who is not targeting down the Meta either. So those Marines just go down immediately. And True Touch gets off to a pretty nice start with his Meta. There are only just now turrets being started and nothing at the natural. The bunker is in position to play a little bit of a assistant, to be a little bit of an assistant to this defense, but there's no Marines in it, so not really. And now Muta getting free reign over the barracks, picking off those barracks. This turret is not going to go for right now. That's only 4 Marines. You really's got to be careful with that. He almost can't even afford to go on the map and fight that. And True Touch again circles back. Picks off the Marine building the... Picks off the SCV building the turret. And the SCV trying to build the other turret. Both turrets are going to be forced to cancel. Actually, I don't think those even were canceled, though. And True Touch is busy patrolling the map, shutting down all these attempts at turrets. Where are the Marines even for... Oh, he's going to try to move out. This is... Looks like Terra might be getting a little bit desperate here. Or possibly he's hoping he can sneak a small group out and get some damage done. But this is so close by air that I really don't think he can do a lot. Even if he does sneak out a group, finds the medic, picks that off. And right now, Terra raining down his wrath upon... Or True Touch raining down his wrath upon Terra. Let's see if the counter can do anything, but I'm worried. It's such a short travel distance. He does go to the right side of the drones. They don't really have anywhere... Actually, no, there's 2 paths out of the natural. Never mind. They do have a place to run. But the travel distance is so short by air. He's only delayed mining. He will get the Muta off his back. Maybe that buys him enough for turrets and ends up being worth it. We'll see if he can get a few more drones. But right now, drone pull is happening. He gets 1. He gets 2. Can he get a 3rd? Yeah, it looks like he got... No, it looks like he only got 2. So only gets 2 and has to give up another group of Marine Med to do it. Turrets going back up for him. He's going to get a few up at his barracks at the very least. But now True Touch has a solid flock of Muta. He can fight these turrets. He can definitely attack these ones that are going up. And if he again goes back to 0 turrets over the barracks, that is such an uncomfortable position. Whoa, okay, just gets the repair in time. So we'll keep that turret alive for the moment. But remember, the natural has only 1 turret. The bunker is actually gone. And he's the repair's too late. So no turrets now at the natural. Muta's doing a bunch of damage again to SCVs there. You can see True Touch has his 3rd base up and running. He has not taken the gas, but he is going to put down a Queen's Nest and again look to move maybe towards that crazy Zerg play, getting some Ultralisks out. A few more barracks coming up. And the Muta one more time circling back. Is True Touch upgrading them at all? No, it doesn't look like it. Just trying to be aggressive, get damage done at the natural. Marines get a few good shots there, but Muta flies straight into the main base, finding their opening here. Now they've got a nice fresh area in which they can micro, free from turret attacks. Again, picking off just a tremendous number of the SCVs. I mean, there's still a decent number left here, but actually, no, there's not that many at all. Yeah, about 15, 16 SCVs. Rough spot to be in for sure. True Touch, you know, doesn't have the craziest economy, but I mean, True Touch has more drones mining than DeWalt has SCVs mining, and we all know how that is for Zerg. And just continued Muta from True Touch as he moves towards that hive, getting that Evo chamber up. Muta again finding a place where they can pick off SCVs. Another 4 or 5 SCV goes down, picks off the turret there. Actually, wait, we'll Will Terror bother to finish that turret? I don't know. Looks like maybe not. Nice find of the medic. And now let's see how well Terror can control this army. Coming back to fight the Muta. This is sort of his last attempt here. A medic does get picked off. No, a medic does not get picked off. But again, True Touch just biding his time, waiting for good shots, forcing Terror to run way back, dealing with these Muta. And now again, circles back to the natural. Immediately the SCVs are run, but immediately another 3 or 4 go down. And Terror continues his path across the map, but we have a sunken up, and we have a large number of Muta here. I mean, that's almost a full control group, especially over the bridge. It's not the friendliest place for Marines. Let's see if Terror can control this very well and try to break into the natural. But there will be 2 groups of Muta eventually coming, and any initial pickoffs he can get is great. Reinforcements are kind of shut down with that second group of Muta out on the map here for True Touch. And now he's got both of them together. So let's see where he's going with this. Right now, he's just kind of circling around. He's got both groups just kind of running. Looks like his hive is done. He's not put down any tech building yet. That Overlord is going to get found. Ultraless Cavern again. And there we go. 2 groups of Muta just camp the Marines. And GG from Terror. And that is a 3-1 victory for True Touch. Which means that we will have Zero, the organizer of BSL, versus True Touch in the finals next week on maps from 2000. So, we shall see. We shall see. I don't know. True Touch was just too strong here. Too strong for Terror to deal with. Although Terror's first game was played really nicely. But then, I don't know. It was just like True Touch found too many openings with his Muta. I don't know if Terror just needed a little bit more in the way of turrets and defense. Or True Touch is just too good at finding openings. But he was just always finding places where he could micro, keep the Marine count low, get damage done, pick off SCVs, and it was just never quite possible for Terror to recover. So I will say thanks to everybody for watching, and then also somewhat